Yeah, hi guys. Hello. Good evening. Yeah, good evening. Hmm. We'll start. We'll start in 2 minutes. Okay. So strength seems to be too less. I guess most of you decided to stay and work on your own. Okay. But today also we'll continue the same. Okay. We'll solve few questions from the assignments. We'll have the revision, quick revision of any topic. I heard about bit manipulation that you guys are having few doubts. So we can continue. Like we can have a quick revision of recap of all the bit manipulation concept, just like we had it for the trees, right? And pretty much those things. Okay, we can have them and we can solve few questions. Okay, so I'm just waiting for a few more students to join, and then we can get started. Okay. So meanwhile, just try to think. Just let me know what are the problems you guys faced. Like I gave you some problems, right? So those problems yesterday from the assignment, right? So so I guess uh, do them. Okay, try to do them, and I hope you guys try to did it, and just let me know what are the problems. Okay, we can code it down today. Cool. So I'm just setting up a few things, and let's get started in 1 minute. Yeah, guys, I'm back. I was searching for my pad. Okay. So we were discussing what's the chat. I think there's some chat manipulation. Okay, okay, okay. Great, Rajat. Okay, we'll see that. Okay. Uh, I think you guys see the questions that are present in your assignment, right? So mostly they are the questions that are that are the primary questions, like the important questions of each topic. Okay. So if you and most of the questions also we solved it during the extra questions time, right? So so that is a quick way of revising them. Okay. So if you're trying to solve such questions, okay, that will kind of put you in a place where you guys are trying to recollect the topics or going to revise your notes, whatever you made. Okay. So that is a quick revision. So that is with that in mind, we have given those questions. Okay. So let's for some time take it. I mean, it's 3 hours we have, right? Till 11 we'll be taking the class. Take it. And like stay in the class. I can see that like few people came and these people will be staying till the end. So we can do a thing. We can solve the questions that we were discussing yesterday and a few more questions, and then we can go for bit manipulation in which you guys are having doubt. Okay, we can quickly revise through all the topics that we have done and do some questions. Okay, and meanwhile, if like we'll see if there are any questions that are good, and if I find them good, and we can just solve them. So just I'm sharing my screen. Is the screen visible, guys? Okay, so for 1.5 hours before the break, we'll be discussing this, and after the break, we'll be discussing bit manipulation. Is that cool? Hello. Yeah. So I hope you guys tried the top view of the tree. Did you guys try it? Kya tha output? Top view of the tree. For some, it's pretty, for some, I guess it's not a difficult thing. It's just that it's little pretty heavy in terms of implementation, where you need to check a lot of things, right? So, so my question to you guys is, did you guys try that top view? Can anyone tell me what are the problems you faced? Okay, there are some problems that you will be facing. Okay, just tell me that problem. Just tell me what is that problem that you're facing. Tell me, guys. कोई बताओ, तो कोई hand raise करो और बता सकते हो तो बताओ. Anyone? Rajat, Harish. Ajay wants to talk about zigzag traversal. Ajay, can you raise your hand? Can you raise your hand? I want you to get unmuted and we can have a conversation regarding a question. Okay. I want Ajay to be raising his hand. Hello. Okay. I think is not comfortable. Okay, cool. Cool. So we'll discuss that question. Okay. So the top view, we are talking about top view. Okay. So yeah, someone else is raising their hand. We'll have a discussion. Come on, raise your hand back again. Who was it? Yeah, Harish. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi Harish.
Hi, sir. Sir, the problem which I've encountered is, sir, suppose, sir,
So did you try this? Like, did you try this before I told you?
yes, sir, I have tried, but some test cases of mine got failed. But
Okay.
I figured
Okay. No
out the
worries.
problem,
Hmm.
and the problem is that the print, we have to print the values which is away. मतलब इसमें ऐसा होगा ना कि जैसे कि अम, जैसे हम लेफ्ट से जा रहे हैं तो लेफ्ट से हम काउंट करेंगे कि वो हमारा मिडल से कितना दूर है.
करेक्ट. तो
ठीक है.
देखो एक बार मुझे रिपीट करने दो कल जो बात किए थे. ठीक है, उसके बाद तुम्हारा अप्रोच से चलता है. ठीक है, रहना कॉल पे रहना. ठीक है, अनम्यूटेड रहना. सो कल आई टोल्ड यू what is that distinctive thing property that these top elements are having, right? So these are the elements that are unique, right, in terms of like they are the first to arrive. I mean, uh, like each value in the top view can be associated with the horizontal value. Do you agree, Harish?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So like I can call this at a horizontal level 0. I can call this as a horizontal level -1. You can call this guy also -1, this guy also -1. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, this is +1. I'm sorry. Right.
सर
The same.
यही हाँ, सर यही
Suno.
प्रॉब्लम मेरे को ये.
So even this guy is 3, this guy is 2 again, I think, right? But this person, right, anyone who is at below this should also be having the level 3, horizontal level 3. So what I'm saying is, we should identify these people first, ठीक है, whichever is on the top, ठीक है, because this guy is also having the horizontal level 1, this guy is also having the horizontal level 1, if at all, like I don't think they are on the same level, but this person is at horizontal level 1, to be honest, right? So it's
Yes,
not
sir.
made correctly. So if I make a smaller tree, let me make a smaller tree and let me show you guys. Let's talk about this particular tree, okay? This is having this, this is having this, this is having this, right? And right, and yeah, so you can call it in this way. So for example, if you have a tree like this, right? So if there's another node like this, they both are on the same level, right? Correct. So in the same way, you can have another node like this. They're on the same level, right? So this is the
Yes,
actual
sir. Yes, sir.
differentiation, correct? So
Yes,
what
sir.
I'm trying to say is कि this particular key is at, मतलब this particular node is at 0th level, 0th horizontal level. Even these both are at 0th horizontal level. This particular one is at 1. This particular one is at 2, and this particular one is at 3. Correct. The same
Yes,
way,
sir.
this can be called at -1. This can be called at -2. Right. What I'm saying, trying to say is, if we am able to create a map that is pointing to these things, it should be sorted, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it should be sorted. Before this, to get into this context, okay, so I just want to teach you a small topic, okay, that is tree map, right?
Sir, before that, मेरे को एक चीज और बतानी थी जो मेरे को इनकाउंटर हुई,
हम्म
जो प्रॉब्लम थी. सर आप वो
हम्म
उस ट्री पे जा सकते हो आप दोबारा?
हम्म
सर यहाँ पे जो आपका मतलब लेफ्ट पे जाके आपका जो सर इसके बगल वाला जो नोड है,
हम्म
बीच में जो नोड है, बीच में सर इसके राइट में.
हाँ
इस सर इससे आप लेफ्ट आप इसके 3 नोड बना सकते हैं, 3-4 नोड कनेक्ट
ओके,
करके.
हाँ हाँ मैं समझ गया, बोलो।
हाँ सर. तो सर मेरे को ना दिक्कत ये होती है कि अगर हम टॉप व्यू से देखेंगे तो यहाँ पे मतलब -2 लेवल तक तो ऊपर वाला जो लेफ्ट. हाँ सर, यहाँ तक तो आपका हाइड मतलब जो इसके नीचे होगा वो हाइड हो जाएगा.
हाँ तो गलत बनी, एक सेकंड मैं ठीक से बनाता हूँ सेम लेवल पे, ठीक है? सो व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू से इज कि like just going by one node and assuming that we'll be getting the top node is not correct, that's what you're trying to say.
यस सर, यस सर. सर
तो एक देखो, हाँ आप बताओ,
अब
इसका लेवल -2 है, इसका लेवल
यस सर,
-1 है, करेक्ट?
यस सर, यस सर.
ओके, हाँ हाँ, नाउ ट्राई।
सर मेरे को अब ये जो आखिरी में नोड है, मतलब जो अभी हमने बनाया है, जो ये वाला, इसको भी प्रिंट इसको प्रिंट करने में मेरे को दिक्कत आ रही है.
ठीक है, सो आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि गो टू द लेफ्ट इन दैट वे, ठीक है, आई एम जस्ट सेइंग कि जस्ट ट्रैवर्स इट यूजिंग प्री ऑर्डर,
ओके सर.
ठीक है, जस्ट ट्रैवर्स इट, ठीक है, इन द प्री ऑर्डर, बट व्हाइल यू आर कॉलिंग अ प्री ऑर्डर, ठीक है, रूट इज बीइंग कॉल्ड विद सम वैल्यू लाइक 0, लाइक यहाँ पे 0 से कॉल हुआ, बट आई एम जस्ट
ओके
सेइंग कि
सर.
व्हेन यू आर कॉलिंग the pre-order, like you can print or you can store it in a map, right? You can store it in a map, you can make it, this guy is pointing to 1, right? In that way
ओके.
you can make it point, right? So but what I'm saying is if you're pointing to root dot left, just make it whatever this value is, take some value like answer -1. When you're
ओके
going
सर.
left, consider it as -1, okay? The same way, when you're going right, consider it as root dot answer +1, so
ओके
that
सर.
this guy will be 1, okay? This guy will be again 0 because he has went, like from this, if you call, it will be -1, right? From this
ओके
value,
सर.
this is the answer, right? So it will be 0, it will be 0 as well, right? This will be 2, this will be 3, this will be 1, this will be 1 as well, right? So what I'm saying is, is this sufficient? Okay, my question is is this sufficient for you to just based on the level, okay, whatever is encountered first, ठीक
तो
है,
उसको हम चेंज नहीं करेंगे फिर हम,
हाँ तुम
अगर
ऐसे
तो हो
सोच रहे हो है ना,
जाएगा.
पहले
यस सर.
0 आएगा, तो एक बार प्री ऑर्डर के हिसाब से हम चलते हैं, ठीक है? प्री ऑर्डर
ठीक
के
है
हिसाब
सर.
से एक बार ट्रैवल्स करके देखते हैं। यू आर हियर, प्री ऑर्डर में क्या होता है, नोड लेफ्ट राइट, ठीक है? सो नोड पे हो, ठीक है? सो चलो मैं नंबर्स भी लिख लेता हूँ, इट विल बी मच क्लियर, राइट? प्री ऑर्डर ट्रैवर्सल में क्या होता है बताओ, लाइक यू विल बी हैविंग 1 फर्स्ट,
यस सर.
उसके बाद
फर्स्ट,
2 आएगा,
उसके बाद 2.
सुनो सुनो, 2 आया, तो आई
यस
कैन
सर.
जस्ट स्टोर 0 है आ गया, उसके बाद 0 के अगेंस्ट 1 आ गया, ठीक है? -1 के अगेंस्ट 2 आ गया, ठीक है? -2 के अगेंस्ट 4 लाइक उसके बाद क्या कॉल होगा बताए, बताओ? 4 कॉल
सब
होगा ना,
4 कॉल होगा।
-2 के अगेंस्ट 4 कॉल हो गया, करेक्ट। उसके बाद like after left is done, right will be called, that is 5, correct, and you can see that 5 is at a level 0 and 0 is already taken, correct,
ओके सर।
okay, so you
अच्छा।
don't do anything, ठीक है। सुनो सुनो, उसके बाद वापस ये कॉल होगा, है ना, नोड के
ओके
बाद
सर।
लेफ्ट कॉल होगा ना, तो 8 will be printed, ठीक है। 8 is against -1 but -1 is already taken, right, so you don't do anything to it, correct।
ओके सर।
This is the idea, this is the idea, okay, not exact implementation, this is the idea। Again this guy will be calling this, that is 9, 9 is at -2, -2 is already taken, so you don't disturb it, correct।
ओके सर।
सुनो सुनो, there's a flaw here, ठीक है। उसके बाद 13 कॉल होगा, 13 is pointing to -3, ये वैल्यू -3 हो गया, बट -3 अब तक पॉपुलेटेड नहीं है इसमें, राइट, इट इज पॉइंटिंग टू नल, मतलब की इज नॉट कंटेन्ड इन द मैप, करेक्ट। So
ओके
now
सर।
I'll make it 13, cool, then
यस सर।
लेफ्ट नहीं है, राइट नहीं है, लेफ्ट नहीं है, राइट नहीं है, फिर यू विल बी कमिंग हियर, यहाँ पे देखो, यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम अराइजेस, ठीक है। एक बार ध्यान से सुनना, लेफ्ट इज डन, नोड हो गया, लेफ्ट हो गया, राइट में हो गए, 3 प्रिंट होगा, करेक्ट।
यस सर।
बाय द वे व्हाट्स योर नेम, हरीश, राइट।
हरीश सर।
सो 1 के अगेंस्ट 1 इज नॉट प्रेजेंट, 3 रख दिया हमने, ठीक है। उसके बाद 0 कॉल होगा, करेक्ट, सो आई मीन
0
6
तो
कॉल होगा, हाँ,
यस
6
सर।
0 इज ऑलरेडी ऑक्यूपाइड, सो कूल। उसके बाद 1 कॉल होगा, राइट, so 1 is also occupied, so cool, right। Now problem, just look at this problem, ठीक है। What if there is another value like this, pre-order में क्या होता है, node left and then right, है ना,
अच्छा
till it is
हाँ।
left subtree it is fine with this approach is completely fine, right। The
यस सर।
nodes that are on the top will be the nodes that are first encountered with this level, do you agree।
यस सर। यस सर।
Let me write the statements, nodes that are top, guys listen to this carefully, ठीक है, are first elements to encounter, this is the assumption, this is the assumption with which we are thinking our algorithm will work, and this is the exact assumption which I told you yesterday as well। कल अगर तुम्हें समझ नहीं आया तो मैं यही बोल रहा था कि लेफ्ट जाओ तो -1 करो, राइट जाओ तो +1 करो, ऐसे से करते जाओ, जैसे जैसे नया नया वैल्यू आ गई यू जस्ट पॉइंट दैट, एंड दिस इज द assumption I wanted you guys to fail, ठीक है, after
यस
going
सर।
half of the test case। I just want you guys to think ki what is the problem, what are the case in which you can fail and how to handle that case। मैं यहाँ पे प्री ऑर्डर इसीलिए बोला क्योंकि प्री ऑर्डर के लिए मैं लेफ्ट साइड ही कल जानबूझ के लेफ्ट साइड दिखा रहा था, सो दैट यू गाइस will be thinking ki this is the approach on how like if you had actually drawn, and you can see that you'll be always getting the top elements as the like in the simple examples which you're taking, you'll be only getting these elements as the unique elements, right, क्योंकि प्री ऑर्डर ट्रैवर्सल है, लेफ्ट पहले होगा ट्रैवर्सल, उसके बाद राइट होगा, करेक्ट। सो लेफ्ट का सब खत्म होने के बाद यू विल बी एनकाउंटरिंग दिस एंड यू कैन सी दैट इट इज करेक्ट, टिल नाउ इट इज करेक्ट, डू यू एग्री हरीश। यहाँ पे देखो 10 के बाद क्या ट्रैवर्स होगा, 13 होगा, एग्रीड, सॉरी 13 नहीं 14 लिखो इसको, 13 ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट है ना, आर यू देयर ब्रो, आई थिंक यू गॉट अनम्यूटेड, हाँ हाँ, आई एम फिक्सिंग, हेलो।
यस यस सर। यस सर।
तो उसके बाद 10 के बाद क्या कॉल होगा ब्रो, बताओ।
सर 10 के बाद मेरा 14 होना चाहिए।
14 होना चाहिए, 14 का वैल्यू होगा 2, 2 तो
यस
प्रेजेंट
सर।
नहीं है, तुम 14 यहाँ पे रख दोगे, क्या ये टॉप वैल्यू है, नहीं।
नहीं है सर, ये फॉल्स हो जाएगा, यहाँ पे गलत हो
तो
जाएगा ये।
मैं चाहता हूँ कि आधा टेस्ट केस फेल हो तुम लोग का, so that you guys will be realizing what is the problem, what is the underlying problem here just by going it, ठीक है। तो इस
यस
प्रॉब्लम को
सर।
सॉल्व कैसे करोगे, देखो तुमने तुमने 2 के अगेंस्ट 14 रख दिया, ठीक है, जस्ट बेस्ड ऑन, मतलब अप्रोच सही है, राइट, अप्रोच देखो हमको काफी ज्यादा आंसर्स दे दिया, एंड दिस इज द ओनली थिंग दैट वी कैन डिसाइड, हाउ वी कैन डिसाइड कि इट्स अ टॉप वैल्यू, बट माय क्वेश्चन इज कि हाउ डू यू से कि दिस इज अ टॉप वैल्यू नॉट दिस वैल्यू, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन दीस टू।
सर अभी जो मेरे को जो लग रहा है कि मेरे को जब भी मैं लेफ्ट कॉल करूंगा, मैं चेक करूंगा कि उसका राइट है या नहीं है, राइट में
हाँ
आने के बाद।
हाँ,
तो अगर राइट होगा तो सर उसमें भी नहीं हो पाएगा।
सो सुनो सुनो ब्रो, 14 और 7 में डिफरेंस क्या है, एक बार डिस्कस करते हैं। 14 और 7 में डिफरेंस क्या है?
सो 14 और 7 में 14
हायर लेवल पे है।
ये सर हाई लेवल पे है।
हाँ, तो मैं ऐसे अगर ऐसे एक स्टेटमेंट लिखूंगा कि आई विल
सर
बी नोटिंग द लेवल एज वेल। ये 0th लेवल पे है, ये 1th लेवल पे है, ये 1th लेवल पे है, ये 2nd लेवल पे है, ये 2nd लेवल पे है, राइट? सो दिस इज लाइक अ सेकेंडरी की फॉर मी। ठीक है, तो
ओके।
ये 3rd लेवल पे है, ये 4th लेवल पे है। तो ठीक है, तो इसको मैं एक और वैल्यू समझ लो, एक और वैल्यू रख दिया यहाँ पे 4th करके। तो व्हेन आई, उसके बाद लाइक लेफ्ट इज डन, नाउ 7 होगा ना ट्रैवर्स। तो 7 इज आल्सो एट द 2 की, it is at the 2 horizontal level, right? But this guy is having the level 2. इसका मतलब he is like I should update him, correct?
यस सर।
Even though this 2 is occupied, ठीक है, I should update him because this guy is having a less level,
ओके सर।
है ना? So someone is saying कि level order traversal पे जाओ, right? So I think it's correct. तुम level order traversal में करके भी you can do all these things, right? कि
यस
लेफ्ट
सर।
है तो राइट, राइट है तो 1 करो, और उसमें तो यू विल बी गेटिंग इट ओनली इन दिस वे, राइट? यू विल बी ओनली गेटिंग द टॉप एलिमेंट्स, राइट? बट इन प्री ऑर्डर आल्सो, व्हाइल यू डूइंग डीएफएस आल्सो, you can pass one more variable, which will be one variable which will be telling what is the horizontal level, and the other level will be telling vertical level. ठीक है?
यस सर।
Even though horizontal level is already taken by someone, if the vertical level is less than that particular, less for this particular candidate, then you'll update him. You can see that you'll be comparing this horizontal level with this particular attribute. This is the key, right?
यस सर।
Horizontal level will be the key, right? And you can think of this data structure in whichever way you want. You can have it as node and then this, or you can think of any way. But मेरे हिसाब से values होना काफी है, integers होना काफी है, ठीक है? तो मैं ये बोलूंगा कि like even though this is occupied, if at all you found someone who is having less vertical level than this particular person who is already stored, update him to 7,2 रख दो यहाँ पे, क्यों इसकी
यस
जगह?
सर।
इन द सेम वे, अगर समझ लो यहाँ पे एक और वैल्यू है, some value like 15, ठीक है? So this guy is 3 and this guy is at the level 5, correct?
यस
ठीक है?
सर।
So how this level is passed? Every time you go, you'll just do level +1, है ना?
ओके।
है ना? So I'm just saying कि 3,5, ठीक है? So at the third horizontal level, you have a node at 5th level, right? I can put this answer 15 is at 5th level. But when you encounter 12, you can see that 3 is already occupied, but 12 is having the level 3, which is better than 5. So update it with 3,3. क्यों?
यस सर। तो लेवल हमेशा हमारा कम होगा तो हम अपडेट करेंगे, अगर सेम वो होगा तो।
हाँ,
सेम
like
मेरा
horizontal
वो।
level already दे दिया कोई, तो सबसे, अगर जो नया इनपुट है उसका लेवल कम है तो उसको रख दो। या अगर तुम्हें ये सब करना नहीं है, यू गो फॉर द लेवल ऑर्डर ट्रैवर्सल। लेवल ऑर्डर
ओके
में तो
सर।
लेवल बढ़ता ही रहेगा, तो हमेशा तुम्हें करेक्ट आंसर ही मिलता रहेगा।
ओके
क्यों?
सर।
करेक्ट?
फिर मतलब ऐसे फिर लेवल ऑर्डर में को लेवल ऑर्डर के लिए जाऊंगा मैं, अगर जाऊंगा तो इसमें फिर।
लाइक यू कैन थिंक, ठीक है? मैं बोल रहा हूँ
यस
कि
सर।
दोनों चीज सीखना चाहिए तुम लोग को, ठीक है? इट्स नॉट दैट यू कंस्ट्रेन योरसेल्फ विद ओनली वन एग्जांपल, ठीक है? तो मैं लेट मी जस्ट राइट, ठीक है? एक एक एग्जांपल ले लो, इसमें लेवल ऑर्डर में क्या प्रॉब्लम है बताओ, ठीक है? यहाँ पे this guy is at the level 0 and level 0, horizontal level and vertical level 0, right? This guy is at the horizontal level 1, ठीक है? And vertical level 1,
यस
right? This
वन।
guy is at horizontal level -1, vertical level 1, correct?
यस सर।
Right? In that way you can have a queue, ठीक है? 1 को डालना, ठीक है? और queue में you can think of whatever you want, right? So this guy is having a level what, like it's a node, as well as I'll be passing these things, right? So I'll be passing 0,0 as well with it, or think of that कि क्या कैसे पास करना है, क्या पास करना है, कि बस सोचो खुद के बारे में। इसका लेफ्ट नोड है तो लेफ्ट नोड को पास करो, उसके साथ यू विल बी पासिंग, लेफ्ट है इसलिए -1 पास करना, उसके बाद वर्टिकल लेवल भी पास करना 1, ठीक है? तो ट्राई टू थिंक कि अभी वर्टिकल लेवल की जरूरत है भी नहीं, ठीक है? मुझे नहीं लगता कि
ओके।
जरूरत है, लेकिन एक बार सोच लो,
ओके सर।
right? So now you can just have a map that will be pointing to correct answers, and at the end you will be just printing these values, bus,
यस सर।
right? So the thing
यस
is
सर।
कि guys, कि it's not, I told this thing, some people say कि sir this approach is better, like I'm not talking about this question कि एक question करने का दो approaches है, so this is better, so why don't we just learn this and move forward, because I don't want to do that. Okay, the reason why I don't want to do that is कि if you know how to drive, like I think I told this example many times, right? If you feel that you know how to drive a bike, okay, it's not sufficient that you can only drive in the highway, right? You should be able to, even though you might not be driving in a muddy roads or somewhere, but you should be learning that thing as well, right? Because if at all you are in some valley area or in some area where you need to go in a very rough roads, right? If you're not prepared for that, right? So I don't think I don't think you are completely qualified as a driver, right? So I think कि दोनों approaches सीखो, right? So like इस case में problem ये है कि तुम like you're accessing the guys who are of deeper level because it's a DFS, है ना? He goes for
Yes,
the
sir.
depth first. अभी समझ में आ रहा है depth का मतलब क्या है? You're going into the deep levels first and then you're coming up, right? लेकिन level order traversal में you're doing BFS, right? You're going towards the breadth in that way, right? तो level by level जा रहे हो तुम इसमें, right? So इस case में you won't be having the problem of the collision, right? But यहाँ पे होगा, right? होगा, but you need to know how to clear it. ठीक है, you should know how to clear it. And a problem क्या थी? This guy is also having that level 2, this guy is also having the level 2. The thing which I realized is this guy is having a vertical level less than me, so I just maintain one more variable, that is vertical level, बस समझा?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, so hash map we won't get sorted key Qatar, I'm coming to that. ठीक है, that's the reason why I was thinking about telling you a tree map. There's a concept called tree map. ठीक है, I'll tell you bro, you can mute yourself. ठीक है, let me continue from now. Thanks for the help man, Harish, you helped me. ठीक है, so guys there is something called tree map. ठीक है, it's very cool. ठीक है, because tree map is cool because it's a type of map. ठीक है, but it serves a property, it serves, you know, something that is useful to me, right? So जैसे मैंने बताया था, ठीक है, map is an interface. What does an interface means? Interface मतलब it is a blueprint of the class, है ना? जैसे class blueprint है object का, so this guy just says कि how, what are the functionalities of a class. He won't say कि how do you implement it. ठीक है, map क्या बोलता है? map बोलता है कि देखो भाई, एक key होगा, एक value होगा, बस. ठीक है, if you know the key you'll get the value, बस. ठीक है, this is what map says. It doesn't say how do you implement it, what is the method that you follow to implement it. Correct guys? I hope I told this thing right. So you know, you have learned in a great extent of the hash map, right? You guys learned about hash map a lot. Okay, hash map is so great. Hash map mein you can get it in big of one time. Okay, like if you know a key, okay, you can just do dot get key and you can easily get the value, correct? In big of one time. In the same way, in big of one time, you can put the value, put key dot key comma value. Agreed, guys? Hello, right? So that is what it is, right? So, but again, I told you that this guy is not sorted. Take a sequence, like not sorted. Anything is not sorted, and sequence is not in sequential order also. ठीक है, in the order which you pushed, that is not the order in which they are present. ठीक है, अगर समझ लो तुम 1,2 को पहले पुश किया, उसके बाद 3,1 को पहले पुश किया, उसके बाद पुश किया, उसके बाद 2,2 को बाद में पुश किया, like when you print it they will be jumbled, right? So sequence is not maintained, sorting is also not maintained. ठीक है, right? So so there's another map that is called linked hash map, which I told you. Okay, linked hash map is also having all these properties of big of one, but it will store them in the sequence. Okay, whether it will store it in a sequence. How? It will just kind of use kind of linked list type of data structure, right? So that when you're traversing, you'll be going it in that order only. Okay, traverse करने के लिए you will be going through that order, using that order only. ठीक है, guys? Right, so that is another type of map. So these are the classes. Okay, this is an interface. Okay, these classes implement these interface. ठीक है. There's another guy who is called tree map. You guys are like really enthusiastic about tree map from the beginning, right? So but you guys kind of used it as well. Okay, so tree map is not very difficult. Okay, matlab it is like you can use it same to the hash map, similar as sub same hai, right? You can just write it in this way, like tree map pointing a integer to a string. Okay, you can just have a tm, something like this, new tree map, right? I think I told you about these two maps. Like you can review the recordings once, and you can just put the variables in this way. 3 will be pointing to this string uday, again that way. 2 is pointed to others or something like this, right? So this is a map, right? The beauty of this map is ki the values are sorted in nature. Okay, so if you print the map, if you do system.out.print tm, you'll be getting them in this order. पहले 2 आदर्श print होगा, उसके बाद 3 उदय print होगा. They will be sorted based on the key. They are sorted based on the tree. And how this is happening? That is the question. Can anyone tell me how it is happening? Yes, yes. I won't get into the depth of that. Okay. In level order traversal lexicographically, no, Joshna. Okay. Red black tree. I think Rajat will take a smaller, simpler version of that. Okay. You guys learned about BST, right? Binary search tree, right? So I implemented binary search tree in GDB as well, if you remember, right? And I'm pushing the objects into that BST one after the other. And they are like when you're printing it, they are in the sorted fashion. Do you guys remember that? Right? So that's exactly what it is, man. Like abhi ke liye, matlab in the outer area, I'm not saying it's exactly BST. Okay? Like for this to happen, we need a balanced BST, right? So it's not exact BST, but you get the feel, right? If you are pushing some value like 3 or something, 3 is mapping to 2. Okay? So you will be having a map in this way. 3 will be here. Okay? If you're pushing another value like 4 is mapping to 5, okay, you will be having it here. Like if you are having another value like 2 mapping to 1, you'll be having 2 here and 1 here, right? So in this way, you are placing it inside a tree where you're following a BST property, correct? So when you're printing it, you're just going in an in-order traversal, correct? Guys, right? And like hash map mein, you're using the hashing technique, है ना? Hashing technique क्या करेगा? एक value लेगा key, उसका hash value निकालेगा, and you are completely reaching that particular instance in constant time. Hash value calculate हो जाएगा, पर hash value is like a memory reference. तुम तुरंत वहां पे पहुंच जाओगे, right? यहाँ पे if you want to get what is the value corresponding to 2, पहले तुम्हें 2 find करना होगा, correct? तो उसके लिए log and time लगेगा ना, guys? Don't you agree with this? To find the 2 value, it's not hashing, right? It's not like this na, you can't reach immediately to that particular location, right? You need to traverse and go reach there, correct? तो maybe यहाँ पे 1 चाहिए, तो 1 के लिए भी तुम्हें जाना पड़ेगा ना, like you need to go to this position and then you need to see what is that value, correct, guys? So even to put, like while inserting also, okay, while inserting a key value pair also, it will take big of n time. Do you guys agree with this statement? Hello? Right? So that is the flaw. I mean, that is the cons of that comes under the cons of tree map, because tree map uses a binary search tree type of data structure, which will maintain the keys in such a order that like they are balanced and they can be accessed in log n time. Okay? So how they can be accessed in log n time? By using such property ki left wala less hoga, right wala zyada hoga, and you can easily reach at any position in log n time, right? So it's not big of 1 now. The problem comes here is ki big of log n, get or put dono ke liye log n ho jayega. But it's fine, right? It is completing it the purpose, but they are stored in a sorted level, sorted order, right? So that is the reason, man. Like if you're putting the values, then n values, you're getting it in n log n time, right? लेकिन यहाँ पे big of n time में हो जा रहा है, correct? That is the difference. So इसीलिए starting में, like I didn't tell you this thing, but you can still use the frequency character and all these things. But this is a good skill to know, right? तो हमारा C++ में this tree map is called as map. This is tree map, right? लेकिन Java में like इसमें there's another map that is called unordered map, and that is called hash map. This is C++ terms, right? So this is C++ and this is Java, correct? So map is called tree map in Java because this is sorted, okay, but it takes big of log n time. This guy is called unordered map, that is hash map. This guy takes big of one time. This guy takes big of log n time for insertion and for deletion, for everything, correct? I don't know, man. Like I don't know linked hash map exist करता है. I don't think exist करता है. ठीक है, ये दो ही चीज है, right? So लेकिन यार I put a value, I put a link in my in your channel LRU cache के बारे में. If you have some time, it's a 2-hour lecture, I guess, a 1-hour lecture है जिसमें I explained about LRU cache, right? So एक बार पढ़ो इसको, like एक बार सुनो. It's a beautiful question based on linked lists as well as hash map. So like if you do this, then you guys will be really good. Okay. Yeah, after module test, you can go through this. You'll be really understanding how the linked hash map will work. Okay, if you know this thing, if you look at this lecture which I put. Okay. So that is one. Okay. So उसके बाद क्या हो गया? Like if you use a tree map here, so obviously like you'll be having the values based on these things. तो उसी level में you can print, या तुम you can take two values like this and you can sort them accordingly. Okay. You can do a couple of things, right? So shall we implement this, guys? Hello? ठीक है. So I think it's better to implement क्योंकि like I told that हम करेंगे इसको, ठीक है, तो करना पड़ेगा, है ना? तो चलो किधर है वो टाइम मीटर नहीं, हम yeah. Did I put it in the notes section? Can anyone send me the link quickly? I found it. Okay, cool. मिल गया यार. You guys are late. ठीक है. हाँ, right? So that's what I'm saying ना. So you can do it using level order traversal. ठीक है, level order traversal करोगे तो बहुत simple हो जाएगा क्योंकि you're just going one after the other level. ठीक है, जिसमें भी यूनिक एलिमेंट पा रहे हो, लाइक इसमें 1 पाओगे, इसमें -1 और 1 पाओगे एट मैक्स. ठीक है, इसमें -2 और 2 पाओगे. अगर नहीं पाया इट्स फाइन. ठीक है, तो लाइक यहाँ पे 3 पा लिया, बट यहाँ पे यू फाउंड आउट 3, राइट? यहाँ पे यू फाउंड आउट 4 एज लाइक 3, एंड यहाँ पे यू फाउंड आउट 4. इट्स कूल, राइट? So you can like in the next level you can like you will be having like since you're going in this way, okay, you will be only need to think about just updating it and not updating when the same value is repeated. If you have 4 आया तो like you can update it, right? 4 के against क्या होगा, I mean -4 के against क्या होगा, correct? लेकिन pre-order में you're going to the depth, ठीक है, you're coming up, going to the depth, coming up, going to the depth, coming up, right? While you're going to the depth, you might encounter the values that are not top, but they are encountered first time. You should not consider them as the final answer. You might come up, and at the moment, if you encounter the same value again, you need to update it because this guy is having a level less than him. So you need to extra maintain one more variable that is called level. बस ये चीज बोला मैंने, ठीक है? Guys, understand the reason why I'm telling this is not to waste your time. ठीक है, you should understand कि how to tackle the problem in any way. क्योंकि इंटरव्यू नॉट नेसेसरी कि एक लेवल एक वे आता है तो उसी वे में वो काम चल जाएगा. इंटरव्यू माइट आस्क यू कि नहीं नहीं आई डोंट वांट दिस, कैन यू मेक इट इन अ डिफरेंट वे. ऐसा पूछेगा तो तुम कुछ नहीं कर सकते हो, है ना guys? So you're supposed to return an array list of an integer, right? So I'll just write it quickly. I won't matlab, like let's see जो भी होगा. ठीक है, so if it is, so guys tell me what data structure should I use. Like मुझे तो समझ में आ गया, एक ट्री मैप यूज करना चाहिए, है ना. ट्री मैप में I integer, this integer will be pointing to what? Can anyone tell me, help me with this? Tree map, not node, you can call it as array list, correct मोहम्मद, या पेयर यूज कर सकता हूँ, राइट. पेयर मतलब दो वैल्यूज ही होंगे, राइट. Like I can create a class called pair which can take two values, है ना. So it's better list की जगह, because list तो like it will be a general solution, right? So I don't want to use that. So let me just create a class called pair. This guy, एक बार देखना एक बार, it's not very difficult, ठीक है. So this thing also you're learning by this process, ठीक है. So this guy might be having a value like first and you can call it as second, ठीक है. बस इतना ही है. This is a class, correct guys? Hello, right? So लेट मी थिंक, ठीक है. तो अभी टॉप व्यू है, तो मुझे एक ट्री मैप बनाना होगा, तो मेरे को बनाना है जल्दी वो चीज, ठीक है. लाइक आई हैव द सॉल्यूशन इन माय माइंड, नाउ इट्स ऑल अबाउट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन. सी हाउ आई एम थिंकिंग, ठीक है. इवन आई एम डूइंग दिस क्वेश्चन फर्स्ट टाइम, राइट. सो इंटीजर होगा एंड देन पेयर का ऑब्जेक्ट होगा, करेक्ट. दैट इज द मैप व्हिच आई एम क्रिएटिंग एंड इट इज अ ट्री मैप, राइट. सो ये चीज है. सो व्हाट टू डू नाउ guys, keep telling me. Like I need to pass this map. Okay, this is a map I need to pass. Like I definitely need an helper function which will be doing all the pre-order traversals. See how I'm thinking. Just look at my statements. Okay. What is already created? Achha, queue object is already created. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, great. Achha, there's a queue object that these people are giving me, which is having a node as well as a level of that node. Okay. So I can use this as well. ठीक है. So okay, let me do it in both the ways. ठीक है, मेरा वे में भी करेंगे, इस वे में भी करेंगे, देखेंगे कौन सा बेटर है या जो भी है, राइट. ठीक है. So it's like a pair, yeah, I agree. But again, I don't need a node actually, क्योंकि मुझे वैल्यू से मतलब है ना. Like I'm using recursion, right? If I'm using a level order traversal, तब मुझे इसकी जरूरत है. Don't you guys agree? Hello, है ना. If I use a level order traversal, एक बार सोचो इसके बारे में ध्यान से, ठीक है. Don't ignore the things, ठीक है. Even if it's difficult to think it. मुझे लगता है कि अगर एक लेवल ऑर्डर ट्रैवर्सल है तो लेवल ऑर्डर में यू नीड टू पुट अ नोड, है ना. यही डायग्राम तो बना रहा था, उसके साथ जो भी रखो, लेवल रखो, जो भी रखो, राइट. बट इसके लिए like recursion is already taking care of my state, right? So I don't need this particular, like I don't need a node inside my pair, right, to track the values, right? तो इसको मैं फर्स्ट और ये नहीं लिखूंगा. लेट मी मार्क इट एज नोड वैल्यू, node val. Let me mark it as node val and let me call this as level, right? And level of रुको Reni, let's see. ठीक है, won't we node and distance from the center? Yeah, definitely we need to node and distance from the center. ठीक है, let me just think कैसे करना है इसको. So I'll definitely need a pre-order value which will be performing the top view. ठीक है, so let me just check. So this guy will be private guy who will be called from me, that is called helper, and this guy will be I can make him return nothing, right? I don't want to return anything, and I can call him helper, right? That's correct, Rajat. That's correct. I agree with you. Let's see. Okay, let's see एक बार. I think let's see. Okay, helper है. Helper will be taking up what are the things. Okay, he should be taking the node because that will be the root value, and then this guy need to take in the horizontal distance. Okay, I can call it as hori, like HD. I can call it as HD, right? Horizontal distance, and I can call it as level, the level in which it is operating. And then definitely he needs to take a map, right? So I can just call it as map based on integer and pair. I can do it in that way as well as he's saying. Okay, but let me do it in the safe way first, and let me think of that in the next thing. Okay, let me just see. अभी देखो, अभी मेरे दिमाग में क्या आ रहा है कि I'll be calling this function helper, right? This guy will help me populate the map values, correct? So I need to pass the root. I need to pass the horizontal distance as 0, level as 0 right now, right? And then the map itself, right? Now after this method, okay, I'm getting a map filled with all the pairs of values, right? So at the end, I need to return an array list. So let me return an array list like this. Create an array list of answers. Right. Now from this guy, I can like from the map, I need to traverse the map to get the pair ka node values. I need to put it inside answer, correct? So let me think how to do that, right? Like I can just have a pair as an element, right? X from the map, and answer dot add. Okay, let me just close the chat first. Let me concentrate now. So I need to add the x dot node value. Do you guys agree? I think this is what I need to do. Anna? Right? I'll come to you, Rajat. Okay, we can discuss that. Let me just do it in my way. Okay. So at the end, I'll be returning the answer. Right? An answer will be printed later in this particular thing in the main function, but our responsibility is to populate it and then return it. Okay. Now we are getting all of them in the order, okay, in which we need. Okay. Now let me think of the helper, right? So helper guy, so this person will basically what he'll be doing is he'll be like, if I do helper root dot left, let me write the basic logic first and then let me think about the base case. Okay, horizontal level hd -1 करूंगा and level का level +1 करूंगा because with every call I need to increase the level, right? So same thing, let me go out with the helper root dot right करूंगा and then hd +1 करूंगा, right? hd मतलब right side, horizontal level I'm increasing. In the same way I'll increase the level, and then in the same way I'll be increasing the map, right? So this is the things which I told you, right? So every time I encounter, now let me think about this thing. Again, let me think about map. Okay, agar map, if map contains, sorry, if it doesn't contains the key, contains the key of hd. Okay, hd is the horizontal distance, right? So if it doesn't contains, okay, in that case, okay, if it doesn't contains, in that case I need to update it into the map, correct? Guys, is this making sense? Hello? So just see how I'm thinking like one after the other. Like I'm thinking and putting the things, right? So in the first place, when the HD has been called with 0, okay, so 0 is not contained, right, in the map. So I'll put the 0 against the pair. What is the pair? Pair is nothing but, like, I need to create a constructor. It would be much better here. If I create a constructor, and it will be easier for me to not always create the, right, the level equals to m, right? So in that way I can create new pair with the value, ठीक है, root का value as well as its level as well. Correct? Right? That's correct. Right? Value होगा या data होगा? एक बार देखना तो मुझे. Yeah, it's data. Correct. Okay, cool. It's fine. Okay. Now this is how I put. Okay, like the value might like it might contain, the value might be containing, but if at all the pair ka value, whichever, if that value is less than what I think it is, then in that case, then I need to get it right. So I can write an else statement, or else I can write it here. Let me write an else statement. Else if, okay, else if level, अभी हमारा level जो है, if at all it is less than mp dot get hd, ठीक है, मतलब लेवल अभी जो हमारा है, if that is less than the pair value dot level. Guys, is this statement clear? See this is the current level, this level is the current level, right? So if that level is less than the pair which is already present in the map against hd ka level, then I need to update the same thing. Don't you guys agree? Hello? Correct? It's not else, it should be else if, right? Else मतलब हर केस में हो जाएगा, right? So I should be making this check कि if the level is less than the whatever the level is present against it, only then do this update, वरना don't do it. Is this clear, guys? Right? बस हो गया. And the base case is going to be, I think it's going to be head, like why if root is null, then just stop it, right? So if root is null, you just return from it. Correct? So that's how we do it. और कुछ am I missing something? Hello? This is the complete picture. See, like doesn't matter, like might be looking a lot, okay, it might take a lot of time, okay, but like just look at it, okay. So now Rajat is trying to tell me something. I think passing map will create some problem, as it will return in regression, we will be losing map element, or different call map will be different. No, Rajat, that is the difference. See, the difference between call by reference and call by value, you're talking about that, right? So there's something called call by reference, and there's something called call by value. Okay, these things are present in C++, right, or any other in few other things, right? But in Java we only have call by value. Okay, so what I'm saying is key the reference variables which you have, okay, when you're passing root is some value like new node, some 5. Okay, so if you're passing this particular thing into a function, okay, so you're passing it by call by value only, but the value is the reference, right? Value is the reference. So in this function, in the helper function, if you do some changes like root dot value equals to some 6, okay, what do you think will happen? Like after you exit from this helper, what do you think will happen if you try to print root dot value? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me what will happen? It will become 6. Correct, Harish? It won't be 5. It will become 6 because you're passing the actual reference, right? This is the reference variable. Reference is nothing but it is referring to this particular object. Correct? And you are updating that object. It will be changing, right? Because it's an object, right? Same thing, do it for a value like a equals to 5 करो और helper में इसको भेजो int a की तरह, ठीक है, इसको भेजो इसमें, ठीक है, फिर a equals to 6 करो और उसके बाद SOP करना a, you'll be getting 5 only, right? Because you're just passing the value here, just the integer primitive value you're passing. But when you're talking about objects, you're passing the reference, take a reference as a value. correct? So this change will be reflected. Yes, 6 print karega, but this change will be reflected as 5 only. That is the difference. When you're passing a map, the map में जो यहाँ पे जो भी changes करोगे तुम map में, ठीक है, that changes will be present in this map also, correct, bro? Hello, is that cool, guys? Right? Each okay, my bad. This is, so it should not be MP, it should be MP dot values, है ना? They are not keys, they are values, right, guys? Hello, समझ में आया? Hello, right? That is another mistake, ठीक है? Right, I'm having some number format exception, I think. Where, okay, I think I'm doing something wrong. Let me think. These guys are integers, right? So I want them to be integers, right? So these values will be integers, so that is a problem. So I can make these guys integers only. I think that is a problem. I don't think that is a problem actually. कैसे होगा problem वो? Like if I'm taking an input, अच्छा input problem हो सकता है. Let me see. They are taking it as an integer and they are putting it in a tree, ठीक है? Root dot data, it will be an integer, everything will be an integer, right? And when you're adding it into an integer, I think it should work, man. Like it is just upcasting, right? It should be auto casted. So okay, my bad. Someone is saying I need to change the line. Let me try that as well. So I think the code is correct. Okay, I'm not sure why it is not working. Use like this. Okay, then. Okay, got it. So they are the number of test cases, right? So I think the first line will be number of test cases and the second line will be the values, correct? Okay, I can see that it's 1, 2, 3, right? So they're not actually sorted. So if I have these things, take a one, where is the input? Input is not good. Okay, input should be 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, in that case it is correct. My solution is correct. Okay, man. Thanks. See, it is 2, 1, 3, right? So you can see that 2, 1, 3. I was putting the input as output को input में डाल दिया, तो वो गलती हो गई. So the tree was 2, 1, 3, but I think it's correct. Doesn't matter if it gets correct or not, but we won't be investing much time here. Okay. So I hope you guys understood the topic of how you are using the level to see if it's the top level node or not. Okay. So that is one of the concepts which I felt like doing. So we did it. Okay. So it should be correct. I don't know if there are any problems or not. Let's see it after some time, right? So, and this question, guys, did anyone try this? Did anyone find any simple way to do this? Hello? Tell me how. Like prefix and suffix one. See, what I'm saying is yesterday, like just like yesterday, you don't have to swap the things like he said. Like you can maintain one maximum product, you can maintain one minimum product. Okay, you can just keep on multiplying the things. Okay, and like at every point, just take like a new number comes. Okay, like if at all this is 3, this is 3, answer is 3 as well. Okay, if a new number comes, okay, try to like these two values, from these two values multiply, like you can multiply it, okay, with any of the values, and you just take the what is the maximum value out of it. ठीक है, मेरा मतलब है कि ये 3 है, ठीक है, अगर मैं 3 को मल्टीप्लाई करूंगा -2 से, कुछ वैल्यू आएगा, राइट? ये भी 3 है, राइट? इफ आई मल्टीप्लाई दिस थिंग, ये भी एक वैल्यू आएगा, ये दोनों में से राइट आई विल बी टेकिंग द मैक्सिमम वैल्यू आउट ऑफ इट, राइट इन दैट वे आई एम थिंकिंग। एक बार सोचो इसके बारे में, I'll be taking the maximum value out of it, or like out of these three values, not just these value, these two values, and it could start from -2 also, right? So out of these two maximum ले लो, the same way out of these three minimum ले लो, ऐसे से करता जाऊंगा, right guys? This is making any sense? Okay, yeah, correct Harish, ठीक है। So like what I'm trying to say is कि the difference between cadence algorithm and this problem is कि you will be noting what is the minimum product till now, because minimum product multiplied by a negative number will give a maximum product, ठीक है। So a maximum product value will be nothing but minimum product into the new value, ठीक है, a of I, or maximum product into a of I, or a of I itself. That is what you will be checking, right? Because a of I, it could be starting of the value, right? ये तीनों का maximum value you'll be putting it in maximum product, ठीक है। The same way minimum product में every time you'll be multiplying the minimum product with that value, or maximum product with the new value coming, incoming value, ठीक है, and then a of I, ये तीनों में से whatever is the minimum, put it in the minimum product, ठीक है, and at every point just take what is the maximum value out of it, बस this is the logic. हाँ, you can swap it, but like yesterday, I think Rohan told it, like you can swap it, even that's cool. But the swapping, he has a logic behind the swapping thing, right? So the logic is key, if you are having a negative number, positive will become the most negative number and negative will become the most positive number. That is the logic. But the same thing is happening when you're taking the maximum out of these three values, है ना? The same thing will happen if you're taking minimum value out of these three values. Correct? क्योंकि देखो, maximum product क्या है? One is either it could be a minimum value multiplied by a new value incoming, it could be a negative value, so both of them might be a maximum value, right? Varna it could be a positive value and maximum product into maximum product hi ho sakta hai, right? Varna this value, that is new value, right? Same thing will go here, right? And there's one more thing that you need to take care ki if this statement is executed, this value might be changed, right? So it is not same as this value, this is the previous value, right? So you need to maintain one temp variable so that this is preserving the previous value. बस वो चीज का ध्यान रखना चाहिए आपको, correct? Right, as we'll be having the same time complexity, correct Rohan? It will have the same time complexity, but I found this as a more convincing way, because like the logic says ki if you're multiplying the values, like if it is 3, okay, so minimum value will also be 3, okay, if you're multiplying a -2 to it, okay, so this guy will be -6, right, and this guy will still remain 3 only, right? Because I mean, just try to think what's happening, right? So like you'll be choosing between these two things and you'll try to multiply the new incoming value and you'll be pulling whichever is the maximum value till now, correct? In that way you'll be doing, right? So like it's simple, very simple, to be honest. Like I can easily write the code, okay? So shall I write it? You want me guys to write it, guys? Why is this thing is taking eternity to load? Let me store my code somewhere and let me run it again. Okay, cool. So do you want me to code this, guys? This question? It's simple, matlab like 4 line का code है. I can code it right away. ठीक है? So let me just do it. ठीक है? हाँ. Let me do it. Let me do it. It's not a big deal. ठीक है? So what I'm saying is कि we'll be maintaining two variables. ठीक है? One is the maximum product, another one is minimum product. So let me mark it as maximum product, and which will be nothing but ARR. I'll call it A. It will be much convincing for me. A of 0. right? In that way. Minimum product will also be the first time sub same honge, right? Same thing will go for answer as well, which will be nothing but first value, correct? Doesn't matter what it is, right? So now what I'll be doing is I'll be running a loop. The swapping thing is also correct, but there's a logic why we are swapping. Instead of that, why don't we do it? Okay. So again, guys, this thing, tell me, if you want maximum out of 3 values, if you want maximum out of 3 values, how will you do? Maximum out of A or B, you will be doing math dot max of A and B, whichever is maximum, that will be returned, correct? Correct. बस 2 लोग का मैक्सिमम लेना, फिर तीसरे के साथ मैक्सिमम लेना, दैट्स हाउ वी डू इट, ठीक है? मतलब मैथ ऑफ मैक्स ऑफ ए एंड बी, ठीक है? उसके बाद ये सबका मैथ डॉट मैक्स, ये दोनों का मैथ्स और ये सबका मैथ्स, यू विल बी गेटिंग द मैक्सिमम वैल्यू, करेक्ट? डू यू गाइस एग्री विद दिस थिंग? राइट? So let me just start the loop from 1. That's correct because 0 already taken it, right? So I can just say max p is equals to math dot max of max p, okay, into that new value that is incoming, right? So into the new value that is incoming, that is a of I, or the minimum value, right? Min p into the a of I, because it might become a maximum value, right? Varna, like the new value itself. Right? Because it needs to be sub array, right? So whichever is maximum, you'll just keep that as the maximum value, right? So same thing will go for min p. लेकिन यहाँ पे एक catch है, catch. So I'll be doing the same thing. Let me copy and let me paste. But the problem here is like I want to work with the previous max p. It's not the previous max p, it's got updated, right? So let me just store that into p max p, right? P max p matlab previous max p, right? That is nothing but max p, initially max p, right? So I can use this pre max p here because max p got updated. Do you guys agree? And at every point, I'll just take the answer as math dot max of max p or answer. Correct? Guys? Right? So in this, yeah, correct. See this, right? So what I'm doing is I'll dry run it, don't worry. Okay? I'll dry run it. What I'm trying to say is you need to have a contiguous thing. Okay? So instead of just maintaining maximum product, I'll maintain minimum product as well. And at every point, you'll be checking whichever is yielding the maximum, that you'll be storing in the maximum product. Correct? Anyone has any doubt? Do let me know. We can discuss. Okay, let me just dry run this with some values. Okay. Let me try run with this value only. This is better. Yeah, it is working. Right? तो देखो 18 आया, ठीक है? At every point मैं लिख रहा हूँ, ठीक है? Max p होगा हमारा, ठीक है? 3, min p होगा, minimum product min p मतलब 3, आंसर भी 3 है, ठीक है? तो पॉइंट ये है कि नया वैल्यू जैसे आएगा, दिस द एरे, राइट? -2, -3, 0 and 2. जैसे नया वैल्यू आया, you will be taking what is the maximum out of max p into that new value, that is -2, या min p out of that new value, या that value itself. ये तीनों का maximum will go into max p. Agreed? Right? Right? So if at all this is -6, this is -6, this is -2. So you'll update it with -2, right? So like this is the maximum product till now, till this point, okay? But we have stored it somewhere else, so it's fine, okay? Same thing will go minimum out of this will go into min p, right? So it will be -6, right? And answer में सबसे maximum p का value होगा, you'll be storing that. So cool, 3 को रहने दो, क्योंकि 3 will be the current answer if at all this is the array that is given to us. So now we have -3 here. ठीक है, again the same thing. ठीक है, max p into -3 min p into -3 या -3, ये तीनों से whichever is maximum put it in max p, whichever is minimum put it into max p, है ना guys? So ये सब में से maximum value is ये हो गया -6, ये हो गया 6, ये हो गया 18, ये हो गया -3, right? So 18 is the maximum value, so you'll update it with 18 and you'll update the minimum value as -3, right? And answer will be updated as 18 because 18 is much greater than 3, right? So you can see that it got increased, right? It got increased because, see guys, like the point here is key to maintain the minimum product till that index. It's not key from the starting till this index, right? So it's till that index, because if at all one more value is added, it might become a huge value, right? So that is the reason why. So if at all I think of putting it from the start, okay, it will become a positive value, which is not a minimum value. So if at all I want the maximum minimum value ending with this number, then it is -3, correct? Then comes 0. ठीक है, 0 के लिए क्या होगा? 0 के लिए the same thing, 18 into 0, ये -3 into 0 या 0, कौन सा बड़ा है? So सब 0 हो जाएंगे, right? So and then the new value come into the picture, right? That is 2. ठीक है, 2 आते ही, right? Again 0 into 2, 0 into 2 या 2, so definitely 2 हो जाएगा ये यहाँ पे, correct? So 2 is not greater than 18, so you won't do anything, so 18 will be returned. The moral of the story is कि even if it is 0, ठीक है, so since you're choosing that value, ठीक है, so you can just abandon everything and you are just choosing it. So it's like multiplying it with 1 only, just like we are doing it in the cadence algorithm. You either proceed with the previous values or you choose this value as the starting point, correct? So same way, I have an option to choose 2 as the starting point, so 0 will be neglected from that point, correct? So this is how you maintain two variables, max p and min p, and you'll keep on moving one after the other, okay? And like you, at every point you'll be taking maximum out of all these three. I mean, all these three cases of multiplying the new value with the max p, multiplying the new value with the min p, and then the new value itself. Out of these three possibilities, you'll just take maximum into maximum p and minimum into minimum p. That is the only topic here. It's like cadence algorithm only with one more variable, that is minimum value. है ना? Why we have taken Shefan Khan is asking me why we have taken minimum p, right? So bro, just see this. If you had not taken minimum p, you would have never got this thing 18 as the answer. Kyunki, see, minimum p is holding this answer, na? This is -6, right? So if a negative number is held by minimum p, and if you multiply it with a negative number, don't you think it will become a positive number? Right? So the reason to hold my minimum product is that in a hope of getting a negative number and making it completely different, like the story gets completely changed, it might become a huge number, right? And that is the reason why we store minimum product also with the maximum product, so that like just because we have negative products, negative numbers. Right? P max P by Shamshad. See, you're up. So these statements are working in sequential order, right? One will be run and then the second statement will be running, right? In the second statement, I'm referring to maximum P as the previous product that is present. But in the first statement, maximum has been overridden, right? So to avoid that case, again, where is that? To avoid the case, to avoid this case of MP is the value, maximum P is the value that is updated from these values, right? So I don't want to use that here. I want to use the previously, whatever the first mein jo bhi tha, previously max P, I want to use that into the picture, right? And that is the reason why I'm using that. And it will be overwritten, right? सर्वजित बफर रीडर को अब तुम लाइक इट्स जस्ट अ फॉर्म ऑफ टेकिंग द इनपुट, ठीक है। सो बफर रीडर का सिंटेक्स ये होने वाला है, एंड बफर रीडर बेसिकली डजंट पार्स इट डायरेक्टली, इट विल जस्ट रिटर्न द स्ट्रीम ऑफ व्हाटएवर इज प्रेजेंट कैरेक्टर्स, ठीक है। सो रीड लाइन करूंगा, सो जो भी कैरेक्टर्स है यहाँ पे 3 to 5, इट विल रिटर्न जस्ट एज अ स्ट्रिंग, मतलब एक बफर रीडर की तरह इट विल पास, एंड आई नीड टू पार्स इट ऑन माय ओन integer dot parseInt. I need to convert this particular string into an integer on my own, right? So that I'll be getting an integer. That is the difference, okay? If you use a scanner, it will parse it because उसमें specify करना पड़ता है next int है, next character है, in that way. I mean next character is not present, I'm sorry, next string की तरह, right? Next long, next float, right? In that way. But यहाँ पे buffer reader में this guy will just return the stream of characters and we need to traverse, we need to change it. Guys, don't feel tense for the exam, man. Exam is not going to be difficult. Okay, if you have done the assignments, if you have done all these things, it will be much easier, right? So you can see that everything that you're learning is not a new concept. Okay, new concepts are done. Okay, the only thing is कि how you apply your brain, okay, and to get to the solution, right? तुम देख सकते हो कि टॉप व्यू तुम खुद से सोच सकते हो, right? Right? So खुद से सोच सकते हो. That is not a topic like that. I didn't teach you anything new in the top view, right? I just identified the fact that each top view is having a different horizontal level, and the lesser the level is, that is the answer. Correct? It's just the identification thing, right? So just assume that कि सब चीजें तुम्हें पता है, ठीक है? With that attitude, if you try to solve the questions, then you guys will be able to do it. That is my suggestion. That is the only suggestion. Guys, anything else? Yeah, you can try to yeah, difficulty level is not going to be much, man. Okay, if you just go through the solution, don't bother about the module 3 exam. Okay, just try because that is not the final exam, na? You will be giving many exams and failing in the company tests, right? So just understand, don't cheat in it, because that is like a practice की तरह समझो, ठीक है? It's not going to be impacting you much, ठीक है? Just do whatever you can, the max you can, ठीक है? And like उसको practice की तरह समझ के try to get the maximum out of it. That is my suggestion. Nah, like how many I'm not sure ke how they are failing anyone, okay? But like with the preparation you guys are having, okay? So I don't think unless you completely ignored all the things, so I don't think there will be any scenario of failing, right? Did anyone fail in the module 2? I'm not sure about how these people are like deciding the failing criteria, right? So I don't think like if did you guys like how did you find the failing and passing concept? Is that very distinct enough? Score less than 60%? Okay. Okay, mock interview में, yeah, you know, mock interview में it will be completely decided, right? कि how knowledge का depth you have, right? So just give your best, man. Like I'm उसमें और क्या बताऊं? Try to solve the questions as much as possible. ठीक है? Try to do the simple questions first. ठीक है? And try to build the logic. ठीक है? And try to code it. ठीक है? And try to like for now you have 2 days of time. Try to practice it. ठीक है? So we'll have one more class tomorrow, and that will be the final class. Okay, you can just practice the simple questions. Okay, revise the topics, think about the concepts that are present. Okay, and that would suffice, I think. Don't stress yourself much. Just give your best. No worries, man. Ajay, you guys are very like. I don't think even we expect you to be masters or professionals in this particular topic, right? I don't think it test भी इतना मुश्किल होने वाला कि like trees is a big topic, ठीक है, ट्रीज में काफी सारे क्वेश्चंस होंगे, राइट, एंड लाइक जस्ट बाय लर्निंग इट इन 4 days, ठीक है, and even we are not expecting you to be masters and able to do the easy and medium questions 100%, ठीक है, it's fine if you're doing 60%, it's great according to me, ठीक है, लाइक काफी टाइम लगता है यार ऐसे ऐसे टॉपिक्स में, सच बताऊं तो इवन आई टुक लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू लर्न ऑल दिस थिंग्स टू अ गुड लेवल where I can say, where I can teach people, right? So it will take time. These are concepts, these are huge concepts, ठीक है, they're not smaller concepts. Like trees, graphs का तो पूरा semester में होता है, like one semester will be completely dedicated for graph theory in computer science, right? So I don't think like we are expecting 100% from you, but I think 50-60% is also fine right now, right, in terms of the ability to solve, not the number of questions you're solving. Interview, I can share one question with you. I always share this with my students, ठीक है, Amazon का interview, ठीक है, listen to this carefully guys, ठीक है, we can discuss the solution tomorrow. First question, like I'm talking about the first round, right? So first question is about generating the next permutation. This is a very famous question. Like you are given a number, you are given an array, ठीक है, some an array like this, you're supposed to generate what is the next permutation of this number or something like that, right? So next permutation is going to be this one, right? Next greater, just next greater. I think सोचो इसके बारे में थोड़ा, like थोड़ा Google करो and you'll be finding this question, right guys? Hello, right? So that is going to be the next permutation, ठीक है, तो I don't know कि क्या होने वाला है. I think it is going to be something like 3 5 1 2 4. This is going to be the next permutation if I'm not wrong, ठीक है, तो एक बार सोचना कैसा हो रहा है, ठीक है, how this thing is happening, ठीक है, it's a simple question, ठीक है, so this is the first question, ठीक है, and then there's like before this first question the interviewer asked me about my resume, the projects which I made, ठीक है, projects में क्या क्या difficulties आए थे, he asked me what are the data structures I'm familiar with. I told कि ये सब जो भी है stacks, queues, heaps, trees. He asked me what are the types of trees are present. Can you differentiate between a complete tree and this? Can you tell me what an example of depth first search? Can you tell me an example of breadth first search? ऐसे ऐसे questions पूछा था random, ठीक है. So I answered all of them, and then this question came into the picture, ठीक है. I answered this as well. Then the second question he asked, ठीक है. Permutation मतलब arrangement, ठीक है. If you consider this as a number, ठीक है, 34,521, ठीक है. What is the using these digits only? If you swap them in such a way that what is the next greater element? That is the next permutation. It's simple question. It's not very difficult question. ठीक है. So I told all these things, ठीक है. So let's ignore this first question. This is available in Google, and this is a very simple question. So you guys try it. Okay, the second question is pretty interesting question, okay, and let me be honest, okay, don't get demotivated if you're not able to solve it. Like I gave it in the last batch, none of them could solve it. Matlab, like they could able to do it, but in the first go you won't be solving just by learning trees in 4 days. Like I'm not expecting you guys to solve this question. So if you guys will get demotivated, I won't be giving this question, okay, but even though you can think about this question, it's not a very difficult question, है ना? Shall I tell this question, guys? ठीक है, don't get demotivated, ठीक है. The question is you are given a tree. The tree is a complete binary tree, ठीक है, and it's a complete binary tree as well as complete binary tree का मतलब पता है ना तुम लोग को, like it is going to be something like this. Listen to this. This is a very interesting, मतलब इतना मेरा favorite question है, मतलब ये नहीं, third question मेरा favorite है, ठीक है. It's a complete binary tree, ठीक है, but complete binary tree in such way, ठीक है, मतलब in a level order traversal करोगे इसका, you'll be getting the natural numbers 1 to n natural numbers, मतलब जैसे 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, तो n का वैल्यू 10 है, तुम्हें नहीं पता n का वैल्यू क्या है, दैट इज द क्वेश्चन, ठीक है, राइट गाइस. This is the question, right? The question is you are supposed to find x element. कोई x element देगा, you should be finding that element. That is the question. I'll tell you what the catch is, but tell me, like, finding an element from a tree, is that a difficult thing? Like, this particular find will just return true or false, basically. This will just return two things, true or false. Find x. So you'll be given one number. You're supposed to find if this particular number is present in the whole tree or not. You'll be returning true if that particular value is present. You'll be returning false if it is not present. Bus. This is the question. How to do it, guys? Just tell me the brute force approach. Tell me the brute force approach. Pre-order traversal, beautiful. Bharat, okay. So I can solve this using pre-order. I can solve this using in order. I can solve this using post order. Okay. I can solve this using level order. Okay. जो भी है, like the matter is कि I can solve it in big of n time. Correct? Correct, guys. Ajay, is this clear? Level order big of n में कर सकते हो ये चीज? What will be the code, man? Code बताओ इसका. भरत बताएगा. नहीं भरत नहीं, कौन बोल रहा था? अजय बताएगा. अजय, सॉरी अजय. Can you tell me what is the code? Just unmute yourself and just let me know what is the code. Tell me fast. I'm writing. अरे देखो यार, just don't get so demotivated. See, it's simple, right? So तुम ऐसे देखो, पहले root null है कि नहीं देख लेना. ठीक है? So I'm trying to explain कि like the barriers that you're creating कि मुझे नहीं होता, that is in your mind only, right? So if it is null, then you'll return false, right? But if root dot value is equals to x, you'll return true. Correct? So अगर नहीं है, then you'll return find, मतलब वही root dot left, I should be replacing that, ठीक है, x or find root dot right, है ना? So this is very simple, right? The reason why we are having or is कि obviously null पे पहुंचेंगे बहुत सारे, everything will be returning false, ठीक है? If any one of them is true, then I want like the whole answer to be true. Correct? It's not a BST, Devanand. It's not a BST. Who told it's a BST? It's just a natural number thing, na? It's not a BST. See, BST mein left subtree should all have the value less than this. It's a very good question, guys. बहुत ही अच्छा question है. I don't know, मैंने search करने की कोशिश नहीं किया, but I really like this question. ठीक है, this is what happens, ठीक है? हाँ, that is the question, Rajat. You're supposed to do it in less than big of n time. Less than big of n time, जो भी ये सब methods में लगता है, उससे कम में करना चाहिए. थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा तुम लोग को. आई एम नॉट सेइंग यू गाइस कैन डू इट, ठीक है? दैट इज द कैच. यू शुड बी डूइंग इट इन बिग ऑफ लेस देन n, बिग ऑफ n टाइम. दैट इज द क्वेश्चन. सो आई टुक सम टाइम, आई सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. उसके बाद लाइक टाइम इज लेफ्ट, स्टिल 15 मोर मिनट्स इज लेफ्ट. सो इंटरव्यूअर आस्क्ड मी द थर्ड क्वेश्चन व्हिच इज इसके ऊपर वाला लेवल का है, राइट? सो देन आई जस्ट फाउंड माय सेल्फ लिटिल thing, and he kind of helped me, like gave me some hints, and I completed the question. Okay, and I solved all the 3 questions in the round 1, right? Yeah, definitely you guys have no idea, ठीक है? But सोचो कैसे. 5 मिनट के लिए डिस्कस कर सकते हैं, उसके बाद लंच के लिए जाएंगे, या we'll discuss some other question and then we can go for lunch. Anyone wants to discuss with me anything, like सर नहीं हो रहा मेरे से, सर मैं सोच नहीं पा रहा, anything you can just let me know. We'll unmute. काफी कम बच्चे हैं, so we can I can give you guys that liberty. Anyone wants to talk with me? Zigzag. Okay, Ajay, can you unmute yourself now? Rajat, you wanna get unmuted? Anyone? Yeah, raise your hand. Hello?
हेलो
या अजय, तुम जिगजैग क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे थे ना, एक बार जिगजैग क्वेश्चन याद नहीं है, बताओ मुझे क्या है।
सर जिग्जैग में अपने को क्या करना है, लेवल ऑर्डर करना है।
अच्छा,
एंड जो फर्स्ट लेवल पे आएगा वो हमें लेफ्ट से राइट ट्रेवर्स करना है, और सेकंड लेवल पे राइट टू लेफ्ट ऐसे जिग्जैग करते रहना है जितने
मुश्किल
लेवल
है क्या
आएंगे।
यार? मुश्किल है क्या?
मुश्किल है सर, हाफ सॉल्व हो गया लेकिन पूरा सॉल्व नहीं हो पा रहा है।
हाफ क्या सॉल्व हुआ?
एक मिनट में कोड भेजता हूँ।
मतलब तुम ये बोल रहे हो ना, लाइक इन द फर्स्ट वन यू विल बी डूइंग, नहीं कोड मत भेजो, कोड तो भेज के समझा देगा कोई भी, ऐसे बातों में समझा ऐसे। दिस इज व्हाट यू आर सेइंग राइट ब्रो?
हाँ यस
तो ये तो सिंपल है यार।
सर, इन रिकर्जन कौन
रिकर्जन
सी
यूज नहीं
टेक्निक
करना है,
मैंने
देखो द
प्रॉपर।
पॉइंट इज कि लेवल ऑर्डर कर रहे हो तो रिकर्जन यूज ही नहीं करना है। लेवल ऑर्डर में क्यों लगता है, ये तो क्लियर
सॉरी,
है
रिकर्जन।
राइट। सो
हाँ
तुम्हें
लेवल ऑर्डर करना है क्यू से, बट हो नहीं पा रहा है ये।
क्यों नहीं होगा? लाइक व्हाट इज द लॉजिक यू आर यूजिंग?
लॉजिक सर, लेवल ऑर्डर ट्रेवल्स कर रहे हैं, एंड जब सेकंड लेवल आएंगे तब लेफ्ट की जगह पे राइट को कॉल कर रहा है, लेकिन अब
राइट
यहाँ
को
पे जो।
कॉल नहीं करना है राइट। देखो मैं बताता हूँ, पहले तुम वन को लाइक यू पुश्ड इट इनटू अ क्यू राइट। सो you'll just print one, ठीक है, and one has left child and right child. Usually level order बता रहा हूँ, you'll push it here right. तो वापस you'll be pulling these guys one after the other right, correct?
यस।
Hello. So like you know how to bifurcate these guys based on just the level right. तुम पहले n equals to 1 देखा right, उसके बाद n equals to 2 देखा right. Two you know that next two nodes whatever I'm going to pluck from the queue are going to be of the same level. So the same way of traversal needs to be there. Agreed, right? So if at all I assume that I'm doing it in the right side, I can maintain a variable that is called like flag की तरह, which is let's say कि right गया पिछले वाले में या left गया. अगर right गया होता, so I can just mark it as true, ठीक है? And instead of putting left and right, I'll be putting right and left inside my queue. How about that?
सर, जो भरत संवत ने भेजा है अभी मैंने वैसे ही किया है, लेकिन आंसर नहीं आ रहा।
नहीं, मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ उसका उसका सुना तुमने?
हाँ
I am not looking at that. So whatever I am telling, see,
यस।
you're using a level order traversal, right? So instead of like one thing you can do is you can just perform the level order traversal only, just the normal level order traversal, and you know how to take them each level को एक एक list में लेना, you know it. So why don't you reverse it while you're taking it? That is one point, one way of doing it. Reverse the list, reverse the list alternatively.
ओके।
You know how to do this right. This will be coming
हाँ
into one
यस।
list, 2 and 3 will be coming into another list right. So 4
यस।
5 6 will be coming in another list. तो इसको रिवर्स करो, फिर लास्ट में एक लिस्ट में प्रिंट कर दो. ये एक ऑप्शन है. दूसरा ऑप्शन ये है कि while you are printing it in this way, why don't you just take right and left here? Why don't you push 3 and 2 here? सोचो इसके बारे में. या ऐसे कुछ सोचो, ऐसे कुछ सोचो. Like I'm not saying this is the correct way, but like you can think of this as a correct way right. You can push it into a array list, and then based on its children you can adjust what is the like how do you want the queue to be right. You can reverse the queue, you can do such operations correct. ऐसे ऐसे भी एक बार सोच के देखो लेवल ऑर्डर ट्रांसफर में भी, है ना ब्रो? लाइक ये तो सिंपल है, लाइक रिवर्स द लिस्ट अल्टरनेटिवली राइट. You can do that, you can definitely do that. But again the point is कि like you need to reverse the queue also. Like you try to think of reversing the queue, how you can do it. Like 2, 3 मिला तो उसको 3, 2 की तरह कैसे पढ़ो right. तो ये चीज एक बार सोचो ब्रो, है ना?
ओके।
Try to think of it in that way right. You can use a stack, you can not use a stack, you can reverse it in any other way. You can just use an array list and place them. Not देखो मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि don't reverse it, you can just have it in this way. One है, उसके बाद one को plug किया, you printed one right, or you put इन array list of final answers 1 को रख दिया, उसके बाद 2 होगा, उसके बाद 3 होगा, right? So you know that these two belong to the next level and they are supposed to be printed in reverse order, right? So instead of reversing it using a stack, ये दो spots में why don't you fill it from back side? मतलब इसको यहाँ पे print क्यों नहीं करूँगा? And next thing will be same, 4 होगा, 5 होगा, इसको plug किया तो 6 होगा, 7 होगा, and these guys will be putting it in the same order, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then these guys will be 2 and 3. And समझ लो you have one more value, that is 8 and 9. ठीक है, 8 and 9 यहाँ होंगे and you will be seeing कि n का value is 2, right? So and for these two values you will be reversing, you will putting it in a reverse order. ऐसे भी सोचो, it's just the level order traversal, right? In that way, correct? You can.
मतलब मैं कर रहा था कि उसको डायरेक्टली रिवर्स में ये कर दो, पुट कर दो, मतलब पहले क्यू में डायरेक्ट रिवर्स करके ही डालो, तो वो नहीं हो रहा था।
पता नहीं यार, मतलब इफ यू आर डूइंग अ डीएफएस, ठीक है, देन डीएफएस लाइक पूरा ही इसको होने के बाद ये होगा ना, सो हाउ आर यू टैकलिंग दैट प्रॉब्लम, आई डोंट नो। लाइक मेरे हिसाब से लेवल ऑर्डर ट्रैवर्सल से इजीली हो जाएगा ये, ठीक है। यू नो हाउ टू बाइफरकेट दीज वैल्यूज, आई टोल्ड एट दैट टाइम, राइट, कि यूजिंग दिस टेम्पलेट यू कैन डू वंडर्स, राइट। द सेम थिंग आई एम सेइंग कि you know how to bifurcate these values based on the level. So at each level print them alternatively, इसको लेफ्ट से प्रिंट किया, इसको राइट कर दो, इसको रिवर्स कर दो, इसको रिवर्स कर दो, फिर सबको एक साथ डाल देना, even that is correct, right? Yeah, like same code को, yeah, same code को you can reverse it, right? इसको तुम like you're doing add, you can do it at add first कर सकते हो इसको, है ना, right? So yeah, coming back to this question, इसके बारे में सोचना, ठीक है। I'm not expecting any of you guys to do it at this point because this is too early for this, but I'm not sure कि when I'll be teaching you this, so right, so do it, ठीक है। तो सोचो इसके बारे में, we'll discuss it tomorrow for everyone. Ajay, you have any comments on this question? Hello? Anyone, guys? Yeah, sure, we can continue after the break. We can take a break. It's 9:47, so we can come back at 10:05 or something. ठीक है, 10:05 or 10:06, है ना? Right. So guys, so try this, ठीक है, it's a good question, ठीक है। It's not BST, definitely it's not a BST, right? It's not कि left जाओ उसके बाद right जाओ, right? ये सब मत करो, ठीक है, ये सब नहीं हो पाएगा obviously, but you need to think of in something like log n की तरह सोचो इसको कैसे करें। If at all I give you a 11, find 11, ठीक है, 11 तो है ही नहीं, right? So how will you say कि 11 है नहीं, right? So एक बार सोचो इसके बारे में। I was expecting you guys to tell about the level, उसके बाद level में क्या maximum value हो सकते हैं, something like that you were talking, right? So it would be nice if you think and if you had told me that, ठीक है, but it's fine, ठीक है। 2 बार गेम ही है but in a different way, ठीक है, थोड़ा different है। So after this break we'll be continuing the bit manipulation, ठीक है, right? So yeah guys, okay man, so we'll take a break, we'll be back at 5 10 7 or something, ठीक है। Okay, relax yourself a little, ठीक है, take stress and try to brainstorm these things and try to get some good questions for the bit manipulation. We can discuss bit manipulation at great table. Okay. Can we do this in tree map with extra space and linear time? No, अगर tree map use करोगे, you will be getting it in a wrong way ना। Okay, Rakshit, I'll tell you, log n हो जाएगा और बढ़ जाएगा time complexity। कोई मैप वैप यूज नहीं करना है यहाँ पे, बस दिमाग यूज करना है। Okay, okay, bye guys। Hello. Hi guys. I'm back. What's happening here? Okay, man, great to see guys. You guys are discussing few things. So Akash Rawat has asked me a question. List of strings. Hai. How to print string one by one. Do anyone wants to like answer him? Yeah. Hi. Guy, are you guys talking about this question or which question? Yeah. So anyone wants to contribute? Like anyone wants to raise their hand and speak up? Hello. Okay. Neil wants to talk. Hi Neil.
Hi, sir.
Hi Neil. Go ahead.
Sir, I did not find exact solution, but I think that could be the solution. So if you let me, I can say my solution.
Bolo.
Like, sir, if number is given, if 11 is
Ah.
given, then we'll divide it by 2
Okay.
and keep dividing it until we get 1. That will give us
Okay.
the path of tree, I think.
Okay. How? Tell me an example. Like 11 है. चलो करते हैं तुम जो बोल रहे हो.
11. Yes.
हाँ 11 by 2 करो. It will be
It
1.
will give 5.
हाँ 5
No,
it will give me 5. Okay. But
5.
reminder 1 है ना.
हाँ, रिमाइंडर से मतलब नहीं है सर अपने.
Okay. 5.
And
फिर.
then again divide 5 by 2.
Okay.
We'll get 2.
Okay.
Then again divide by 2, we'll get 1.
Okay. Correct. फिर.
This is our path, sir. Like we
In
will
the
travel
reverse way,
1.
right?
Yes,
Right.
yes, sir.
1. उसके बाद 2 आता है. उसके बाद
And
5.
then
उसके
5.
बाद 11 should be coming here.
Here.
I'm very happy that you found it. Okay, so this is the this is not the actual solution, but you're very close to the solution. You're like 90% close to the
Yes.
solution. You step like this is very close. Okay, this is the solution, man. Like you understood that how you need to go to 1 and then by 2 and then from 5 you will be going to 11, right?
Yes.
So I'm glad you realized, but formalize this. Okay, try to see ki how do you find it exactly. Okay, because just dividing it in this way and going by these numbers, like storing them in an integer format and then going it might not be very feasible for us, right? So सोचो कैसे करोगे इसको, है ना?
सर ट्री में क्या है ना कि अभी रूट वैल्यू का लेफ्ट चाइल्ड जो है उसका 2 टाइम्स है एंड राइट साइड जो है वो 2 टाइम्स प्लस 1 है.
So you mean to say that ये x है, so this will be always 2x and this will be nothing but 2x plus 1. तो सोचो ये कुछ कहीं देखा हुआ लग रहा है तुम्हें?
Odd and even केस में
odd and even ही है. But सोचो इसका like if this guy is some value like 1, it's not 10, it is 2. Okay, मतलब binary representation लिख रहा हूँ. 2 times this is will be 100, right? This will be 101. कुछ सोच पा रहे हो इससे? Guys, एक बार देखो इसका binary representation 0 है. Like if you append 0, it will be 100. If you append 1, it will be 101. Try it for everything. ऐसे ही होने वाला है.
Yes, sir.
It's all about appending. ठीक है? So now I think
Yes,
it is simple for you guys. ठीक है, थोड़ा सोचो. बस ये है, like I told, almost 50% of the solution, and this person who has Neil has told you 90%. तभी आगे सोचो, ठीक है? Right? And this is correct, man. This is the actual logic. This is the actual logic. ठीक है? So like if you just look at its binary representation, it is nothing but in something like this. 1 है, you have 1 0, you have 1 1, right? Same way you have 1 0 0, then you have 1 0 1, right? Then you have 1 0 0, then you have 1 1 1. So the left you're going, you're getting 0, you're appending 0 to this, and right you're going, you're appending 1 to it. बस यही है. This is the logic. So अभी सोचो एक बार देखो, अब तो मिल ही गया तुम लोग को solution.
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir.
So this is how any value will be there. Okay, so you just need to find its binary representation. मतलब 11 का binary representation क्या है? It is going to be something like this, है ना? So 1 है, then left में देख 1 है, so you'll be here, right? उसके बाद 0, you'll be going to left part. उसके बाद 1 है, you'll be going to right part. उसके बाद 1 है, you'll be going to right part, which is null, so you'll return 0. I mean, you'll return false.
Got it.
Guys,
Got it, sir.
just look at it. किसी को समझ नहीं आया? कोई है जिसको समझ नहीं आया क्वेश्चन? देखो, basically these natural numbers are nothing but like if you're multiplying it with 2, you're getting the left child. You're multiplying 2 and adding 1, you're getting the right child, right? So if you look at its binary representation, you can see that it is nothing but it's like appending 0 when you're going left and appending 1 if you're going right. So it doesn't matter if you have a value like this. Okay, so you'll just 1 के पास you'll be here, 0 आते you'll go left, 1 आते you'll go right, एक और 1 आते you'll go right, and you'll see that value is not present, so you'll leave, right? And you know that you can find this in log n time, right? And in log n time you can find the value, है ना? It's in the binary representation. It's the binary representation, right? I'm not sure if this question is present or not, but maybe the interviewer made it. It's fine, okay? But like, काफी अच्छा क्वेश्चन लगा मुझे, guys. किसी को समझ नहीं आया ये क्वेश्चन? मतलब ये अप्रोच समझ नहीं आया, ऐसा कोई है? So if you want me to summarize, right? You'll just find its binary representation. कोई भी number का binary representation. समझ लो 9 का. So if I have a value like 1 0 0 1, right? So you are at here. So 1 0 0 है, so you'll go left. फिर 0 है, so you'll go left, right? फिर 1 है, you'll go right. ठीक है? So left में हमेशा you'll go left, 0 and 0 आते you'll go left, right 1 आते you'll go right, है ना? So that is how it is made. The complete tree is made in that way. Guys, is this question good? Did you guys like this question? है ना? कोई है जो साथ यार कोई बोल क्यों नहीं रहा कि समझ नहीं आया? समझ में आ गया ना? ठीक है, तो ये क्वेश्चन मैंने कर दिया, ठीक है? सो उसके बाद मेरे से थर्ड क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था. अब देखो थर्ड क्वेश्चन, ठीक है? थर्ड क्वेश्चन ये है, like in the second question you are supposed to find a value that will take an int and that will take a root and it will be giving us in big of log n time. Big of log n time mein you'll return a boolean value if it is present or not, right? That is the second question. Third question is same tree, it's an extension of this question. Listen to this. Find the largest value in the tree. This is the question. This is for homework which we are going to do tomorrow, correct? ये किया था, I got selected to second round and उसके बाद कुछ and I got selected, right? So ये सोचो, ठीक है? This is the third question. Find the largest value in the tree, in the same tree. Yeah, the same tree. Like you need to write a code to find the largest value. अभी ये चीज मैं तुम लोग को छोड़ रहा हूँ, right? Neil and everyone, right? Try this. ध्यान से सोचो एक बार, एटलीस्ट एक आधा घंटा. Like definitely not, I won't tell the time complexity. कल मैं अप्रोच बताऊंगा तुम लोग को, फिर तुम लोग बताओगे टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी क्या है, ठीक है? लेकिन टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑब्वियसली n स्क्वायर तो नहीं होना चाहिए, है ना मोहम्मद? राइट, ओके? तो n स्क्वायर में तो कर ही लेगा कोई भी, है ना? राइट, तो सोचो यार कैसे करें, इसका मैक्सिमम वैल्यू कैसे फाइंड करें, ठीक है? सो दैट इज द क्वेश्चन. बिग ऑफ n भी नहीं होना चाहिए शायद, ठीक है? लेकिन सोचो, है ना? बिग ऑफ n में भी हो जाएगा ना डीएफएस से. इवन लेस देन दैट, आई नीड इवन लेस देन दैट, ठीक है? It's not a binary search tree. It's just the same tree, the complete binary tree. with the level order traversal as natural numbers. You don't know what till where you get it. ठीक है, Neil, keep it to yourself. We'll discuss tomorrow. ठीक है, ठीक है, we'll discuss tomorrow. ठीक है, let everyone think. ठीक है, so shall we go to bit manipulation, guys? Hello, right? Leaf left, sorry, leaf ले लो max वाला आंसर है. ऐसा है क्या? How do you go to leaf? वो ऐसा नहीं है ना, थोड़ा सोचना पड़ेगा ना, ऐसे जल्दी नहीं होगा. ठीक है, आई वाज स्ट्रगलिंग लाइक 5 मिनट्स तक मैं सोचता रहा, फिर एक हिंट मिली थी मुझे. ठीक है, उससे मैं कर लिया, बट वो नहीं दे रहा तुम लोग को अभी, क्योंकि यू गाइस हैव अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम. ठीक है, तो सोचो. इट्स एन एक्सटेंशन ऑफ द सेकंड क्वेश्चन. ओके, नो, इंटरव्यूअर के सामने 1 सेकंड इज लाइक 5 मिनट्स. रिवर्स है रोहन. हाँ, करेक्ट, दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, सॉरी. मतलब 1 मिनट भी ऐसा लगता है कितना ज्यादा टाइम लगता है, राइट? ठीक है, सोचो. लेट्स शैल वी मूव टू बिट मैनिपुलेशन. लेट्स रिवाइज बिट मैनिपुलेशन क्विकली, गाइस, है ना? शैल वी स्टार्ट, गाइस? हेलो, I can't see the Josh today, man. What's happened? Why you guys are not having Josh, right? So, हाँ, no worries. फिर भी ठीक है. So, what is the bit manipulation? I told you about the binary system, right? I told you. Like quickly, एक बार let me go through these topics and then we can revise the questions. I think that's sufficient. Learning a new questions, नहीं, ठीक है? That is a big no. ठीक है, at the end. ठीक है, I told you about binary system, right? So shall we go to the PPT only? There only you want to learn, guys? I think that is better approach. Or else, yeah, I think that's better because you guys will be having all the questions there. Let me go there and we'll just quickly revise it. So let it be here. Right? So we learned it half month back, right? So yeah, so we learned it half month back. We learned about what is bit manipulation. ठीक है, तो काफी ज्यादा डीप में चले गए थे theory में, which was not that useful, but not useful at this point, but future will be useful, right? So we learned about number systems. Decimal में you have base 10, मतलब हर digit का value 10 times बढ़ेगा compared to the next digit, right? So since base 10 है, you have the values from 0 to 10 ranging, right? Same thing will go for binary, right? Binary में you have base 2, मतलब 0 and 1 will be there. Same thing will go for 3 or 4 hexadecimal. You have hexadecimal, मतलब 16, right? Such things are there, right? So I told you about what is a bit. Bit matlab it is the digit in a binary number, right? It could be 1 or it could be 0. If it is 0, it is called unset bit. If it is 1, it is called set bit. I told you how to convert a binary number into decimal number. Each place has power like this. It is 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, correct? So if you want to convert it, it is 1 into 2 power 3, 1 into 2 power 2, 0 into 2 power 1, 1 into 2 power 0. And you will be getting 13 as a base 10 value, correct? Maximum level में rightmost जाना होगा tree में. How do you do that? That is what the question is, right? That is the question. How do you do that in less than n time? है ना? सोचो एक बार थोड़ा. वो तो समझ ही जाएगा, बच्चा भी समझ जाएगा वो चीज जो तुमने बोला, है ना? लेवल ऑर्डर ट्रैवर्सल. सोचो थोड़ा, है ना? Okay, let's get back to the topic. So this is how we did. Okay, convert a binary number into decimal. In the same way, if it is a base 3 number, okay, it's going to be like this, है ना? It is 3 power 0, 3 power 1, 3 power 2, है ना? So at each level, The values can be only 0, 1 or 2, right? It can't be 3, right? I told this doing as if I was in a Viva, right? So I told you about hexadecimal as well. If at all there are base 16, okay, then there will be 16 values, one ranging from 1 to 15. But 10 will be represented as A, 11 will be represented as B, C will be represented as something else, right? In that way, we have the hexadecimal values, correct? So in the same way, I told you how to convert a decimal value into a binary value. Okay? And that is very cool, right? You will be dividing it by 2 continuously, and you will be noting down the remainder. And in the reverse order, if you play the reminders, it will be a decimal value, binary value. Correct? So iske aage, like we learned about integers, right? Integers ka 32 bits hota. We learned about MSB, LSB. MSB matlab most significant bit, LSB matlab least significant bit, right? And like if at all it's a 5-bit value, this is how it is. And MSB is used as sign bit if at all it's a signed value. Sign bit में ये होता है कि if at all it is 1, you understand कि वो negative value है. If at all it is 0, you understand it as a positive value. लेकिन अगर 1 है, इसका मतलब you don't directly say what is a negative value. You need to take its 2's complement, right? So what is the 2's complement? 2's complement is nothing but 1's complement plus 1. So 1's complement is nothing but just the flipping of the bits, right? This is the value n, and 1's complement of n is going to be something like this with all the bits flipped, right? 2's complement is nothing but 1's complement plus 1, right? You need to add 1 to the 1's complement, right? So that will give us the 2's complement, correct? So like negative numbers are stored as 2's complement of its positive number, right? So if you want to store -4, okay, so what you'll do is you'll take the 2's complement of 4 and that will be the -4, right? But that's it, right? So that is how that's about the 2's complement, right? And then comes this thing. Then what did we learn? Yeah, this is mostly about these things. Okay, so I told you how circularly this will move. Okay, if at all it's an unsigned bit, then it will be from 0 to n. Okay, and -1. This will be the range. But if it's a signed bit, these values are considered as negative values. You can see, right? And they will be half will be positive values, half will be negative values, right? And that is the reason this will be the range of the integer. That is -2 power 31 till 0, and for 0 set 2 power 31 -1, right? So that's how I told you. Then you have the bitwise operators. From here you get starts with the practical application, right? The previous things which you learned are mostly the theoretical things which you will be using to understand the terminology, understand the language of the interviewer, right? But यहाँ से you'll be using the actual things like bitwise, the actual operators start from here. So you have something called bitwise OR. Okay, so this guy is pretty good because he will be just understand as a logical OR, but it is a bitwise OR. So if you OR 2 numbers, if you do 4 or 5, ठीक है, what happens is 4 का जो bit representation है, 5 का जो bit representation है, right? वो दोनों के बीच में every bit will be gone through the bitwise OR. It means that each bit, this bit and this bit, okay? So if both of them, 1 or 1 is 1, right? 0 or 0 is 0. 0 or 1 is 1, right? So you'll be getting this as the answer, correct? इसका मतलब this will give the value 5, right? So bitwise OR basically operates on all the bits, right? So if you do the bitwise OR of 2 values, they are going to be, you're going to get some value, right? Which will be nothing but, like if any of the bit is set, you'll be getting the set bit, correct? So that is OR. Then you have bitwise AND. Bitwise AND says that both the bits need to be set for me to be set, for the answer to be set. That's what bitwise AND do, है ना? Right? उसके बाद bitwise OR. This is the most important. You find, like if you find 100 questions on bit representation, like I'm sure that 70 to 80% of the questions, 80% of the questions will be on this OR. Okay? So just see this. In XOR में XOR is also called as exclusive OR. Also called as exclusive OR. Exclusive because XOR है ना, exclusive OR. It means that any of them should be set. Any one of them only should be set. Okay, only then my final answer will be set. If both of them are not set, or if both of them are set, okay, in that case you'll be getting 0 as the answer. Right, guys? Is this clear? Hello? Are you there? Hello? Why there's no response? Right. So this is the most practical thing, like you have seen, right? And just remember these things. If you XOR a number with a 0, it will be a same number, right? But if you XOR the same number with the same number, you'll be getting 0, right? Because same number ka same number pe, like the bit representation is going to be same, right? So if you XOR them, it will be 0 at the end, correct? देखो शेफान, signed or unsigned में what I'm saying is if at all देखो Java में you only have signed integer है ना, but I'm just talking in a broader spectrum. If you see, there are two things that are signed and unsigned. Unsigned मतलब throughout all the bits they are of the same value है ना. Signed मतलब MSB is used to identify the sign. Okay, if MSB is set, it is identified that it's a negative number. So you take the 2's complement of the whole number so that you'll get the positive number of the negative number. Right? So for example, -4 hai, right? You take the pura bit representation ka 2's complement so that you understand ki wo 4 aayega at the end. So then you will be realizing ki oh, it's a 4, right? So 2's complement will be the same number, right? So to store a negative number, what you'll do is you'll take the 2's complement of the positive number and store it. The other thing you'll be doing is you'll be taking the, like once you found a negative number, you'll be taking the 2's complement of it to see what is the positive value of it. Bas itna hi hai, okay? Like there's no need to like bang your head on it if you're not understanding it. It's fine. You can just take it light because it's more of a extra knowledge, right? It's more of a theoretical thing, but it's necessary to learn because you might be asked, but practically like you should realize ki it is in its 2's complement, even though you won't calculate 2's complement anywhere. Okay, it's just on the paper that you do. Okay, वरना तुम -4 को प्रिंट करोगे, कंप्यूटर समझ जाएगा वो -4 है ना, right? So then comes the bitwise complement, right? Bitwise complement भी ज़्यादा use नहीं होता है. It is nothing but it flips all the bits. That's it. All the bits. मतलब 32 bits को भी flip कर देगा if you flip an integer. Right? ऐसे मत सोचना कि अच्छा 4 is 100 इसका flip करूँगा तो 011 आएगा. No, it's not the case, right? It will flip all the zeros before it. So everything will be 1. It will be a negative number. Right? यहाँ पे I told explicitly it's a 4-bit value. इसीलिए मैं ये चीज दिखाया, right? Just keep that in mind. This guy will flip all the bits. If you use a long, then all the 64 bits will be flipped. Correct? Guys, is this making sense? Right? Right, and then comes the shift operator, right? So this is also a pretty good operator, right? So shift operator may have two types of shift operators. One is left shift, other one is right shift, right? So left shift is pretty straightforward. If you write x shifted by 2 times, it will be shifted by 2 times, right? So this thing will happen in constant time. So left shifting is kind of understanding it as multiplying this number with 2 power 2, right? Whatever this number is, add 2 power n you are multiplying. It is nothing but you're just shifting the value to the right side, okay, so that you are appending zeros, right? So as just in that question which we were solving, x tha x2x ho gaya, is taraf x2x plus 1 ho gaya, right? So you are seeing that 2x hona nothing but appending it by 0, right? Why it is appending it by 0? Because you're shifting it to the right, matlab to the left side, correct? So that is called left shift, right? So if at all it crosses the boundary of the bit, right? अगर हम लोग 5-bit value ही इसमें जाएगा, right? I'm just telling, ठीक है? Then whatever one is, that will be lost into the eternity. Like you will be never getting that. Bas. Correct? How to flip only those bits which we want in that example. Which one, bro? Qatar? In which example? Qatar? What are you talking? Okay, so we'll talk about flipping, we'll talk about setting. I think it is present in the PPTs, right? So if you want to do that, you use mask, right? You know, I told you about the mask. You will be creating a thing called mask, which is like an integer where you explicitly pointed कि this position पे 1 होना चाहिए, this position पे 0 होना चाहिए, right? So if you do that, right, and like if you keep that, and if you do the XOR operation or whatever operation, you can flip it, right? So let's back to the topic. The left shift is nothing but you're just shifting the values to the left the specified number of times. Right shift, now you have two types, right? One is unsigned right shift, and the one is signed right shift, right? Unsigned right shift mein, it doesn't bother what is it, it will just shift, it will just shift just like the left shift. Lekin signed right shift mein, if at all it's a negative value, he will introduce one more negative value in the MSB so that the sign is preserved, right? So sign ko preserve karne ke liye MSB ko 1 rakhega. That is the signed right shift. Okay. So if you're only working with the bits irrespective of the sign, okay, go for this, right? But if you want to divide a value, okay, by some degree, by 2 or by 2 par 2 or something, like go for sign right. Based on your convenience, based on your requirement, you will be using signed bit and unsigned bit. Personally, unsigned bit हम mostly use करते हैं because you should, like, most of the questions that you will be doing will be like count the number of bits, right? Count if at this particular position you have a bit or not, right? So if you use signed bit, signed right shift, then the number of bits will increase naturally, right? Because MSBP you're getting once, right? So to avoid that, we use unsigned bit. Is this clear, guys? Correct? Right? Chalo. Then we talked about single number, right? It's a good question where you are given a numbers, an array of numbers, where the frequency of every number is 2, except one number which is single frequency, right? It's something like this: 2, 3, 2, 3, and then some value like 5, right? So this guy's frequency is 1, right? But this guy's frequency is 2. You can definitely use a hash map, right? But you choose to use XOR. By XORing all the values, what will happen is you're XORing all the values, right? So these both bits, they will be forming the even positions, right? At any position, they will be forming even number of times, right? So they will be nullified, and at the end, you'll be getting 0 as the answer. The same thing will happen with 3 as well. 3 and 3 will be nullified, and you'll be getting 0 as the answer, right? And then 0, everything will be 0, and this will be 5. So you'll be getting 5 as the answer. Correct? Guys. Right? So that is a very cool question, single number. So I wanted to do one more question, that is single number 2. Okay, if it is possible, we'll do it today, or else we can skip it. Let's see. Okay. So then we did one question that is called number of ones bit. Okay, this is a question where we we did a lot of, you know, lot of methods, right? We explore a lot of methods. One is the mask. This is where I introduced you guys with the mask concept, where you are just putting one bit at the first place, and then in the second place, in the third place, by shifting it one after the other in each loop, and you're checking by doing bitwise add if this bit is set or not. If this value is greater than 0, the bit is set. If the value is not greater than 0, it is not set. Correct? Right? So that is how we did it, right? So this is one method. The second method is key how you are dividing the value one after the other. I mean, how you're right shifting it one after the other, so that every time you're just checking at the first place if it is set or not. And the number of times the first place is set will be telling the number of times the whole value is set. Right? So that is what it is. Okay. So you either use a mask or you either move the bits, right? So this mask wala concept, we have kind of scaled it up to a great extent where we are not just having at a particular bit mask, but you are having multiple places mask, right? So this is what we have done. We have been doing, right? And then I told you about a cool concept of n and then n minus 1. That is nothing but all the zeros will be 1, and the one that like the least significant set bit will become 0, right? So this will be true anywhere. You take any number, right? You can take any number like this, okay, or you cannot have 0 also. If you do n minus 1, you can see that, or I can easily write that all these zeros will be set, and the first least significant, like this bit which is set, that will become 0, right? So it is 10 and it is 9, right? If you do bitwise AND of it, right, then you will be getting definitely you'll be getting all the zeros from here, right? So you will be having 1 0 0 0. So the least significant bit became 0 by this one step, right? So the number of times you perform this step before the value n, so the number of times you perform this step before the value n becomes 0 is the number of set bits. Do you agree? Because at each step you're making the 1 as 0, right? You can see that ये 1 last वाला 1 0 हो गया, right? So this is better in terms of time complexity, much better in terms of time complexity. Correct? क्योंकि this will be running in because of distinct set bits, number of set bits. Correct? Guys, are you following? कोई doubts है? Please discuss the odd number of queries. Sure, Shamshad. Okay. Yeah, I'll take hard category questions, but I don't think you'll be asked any hard category questions just for the exam. Okay. So I can definitely take it up. Okay. So if you want to try hard category question, okay, try to use do the questions of XOR, right? Many questions there will be XOR questions, and the single number 2, single number 3, all these questions are good level questions, right? Okay. So then comes the power of 2. Power of 2 का मतलब है कि only one bit is set, right? So how you can find it? You can just find it by doing this. N ampersand n minus 1. If it is equals to 0, then you'll be having, because in one step only it will become 0, right? So you can easily call it as power of 2. So this question was asked, I told you, right, in a good company, like I don't remember the company, right? So you can do that, right? So I'll see that, Neil. Sure. Let me just quickly revise all those things, right? And then we we developed this thing, right? How to check a kth bit is set or not, right? So you make a mask which is having a 1 bit at a kth bit, right? So how do you create it? You can create it easily by shifting 1 k times or k minus 1 time, right? Jo bhi hai, right? Based on what k means. Some people might be referring this as 0th bit and this as first bit also, right? So based on that, do that, right? And apart from that, right, what you'll be doing is you'll be if at all you perform the ampersand, right? If you perform bitwise and between the number and the mask, if you got a value that is greater than 0, right, I can definitely say that this particular bit is set wherever this mask is set, right? So that is how you check a kth bit in a number, right? You don't have to completely convert it into the, you don't have to completely convert it into the binary representation to check it. You can do it directly in this way, in just one step, right? and how to set a bit, right? So set करने के लिए, right, you just need to do or. You just make a mask, or okay, I'm sorry. You just make a mask at that bit, and you do the logical or, and you'll be having this as 1, right? So this is what you learn. Flipping is nothing but XOR, right? So if you XOR 0 with any value, the value will be same. But if you XOR it with 1, the value will be flipped. So this is the concept which we used earlier also, right? So then there's a beautiful question of XOR of all subarrays, right? Where you're supposed to do XOR of every subarray and then XOR the whole thing, right? So it's like XOR these things and then XOR everything, right? So again, it comes about the frequency, right? Every time we talk about XOR of numbers, just see how many times a number is being XORed with itself, right? If at all it's been XORed for n times, if n is odd, I can just ignore all these things and I can consider this as the final value. But if n is even, then I'll be getting whole value as 0. Correct? Unset na? Here part. Right? So this is how I calculated the frequency. I just found out a pattern that every value will be multiplied with the number of values that are before this and after this. So that is how it is. And I'll be just calculating it, right? So this is how I did it. XOR of all the subarrays, right? And after this, right? So we have tackled a couple of questions like reverse bit mask, swap odd even, right? So these are very cool questions. How you created the mask, okay? How you are flipping, how you are doing the coding, right? We have coded couple of questions, right? So that is pretty much the number of questions that are there. Okay. So did you guys try this question, guys? So this is also a very cool question. How we are creating a mask, where all the values are set, all the odd bits are set, all the even bits are set, and you're doing some AND to it just to check if whichever is present. You're just setting it up. You're just shifting them, and then you're just combining them again using OR operator. So that's very cool way of doing it. So there's another question like pairwise OR of all elements. Did you try this? Hello? Right. So let me just see if that question is present. Just look at this question. Acha, it worked, man. Our code worked. Great. Right. So see how I made it work. It is nothing but like I'm just checking. Again, instead of just having these two things, I can put it here only. Right. To make it simple for you guys to understand, I put it वरना इसकी जरूरत भी नहीं है. ठीक है? I can just make it in this way. I can use logical OR here. I can make a logical OR here and I can just run this. This will also work, right? Guys, right? So did you guys try this question? The XOR queries? Hello? Correct. For this question, what you use is the prefix XOR, right? So you're given queries that are left and right, right? And you're supposed to calculate what like left queries may each query has 2 values, right? So you're supposed to return what is the like what is the XOR of the elements from this point to this point, right? From left to right, from the whole array, right? And then you put it as the output, right? So do you want me to solve this, guys? I don't think it's a mushkil question, but if you insist so that you guys, and I'm not, I think I got cold. Hello, guys. Sorry. right? I'll code it. Okay. So, bus the concept here is कि basically I'll be zoring all the elements. Okay. Just like prefix or prefix में भी same question है ना? It's like range sum iteratable है ना? तो इसमें basically मुझे क्या करना है? I'll be just using a array which will be stored. ठीक है. 1 होगा, 1s और 3 होगा, उसके बाद 1s और 3s और 4 होगा, उसके बाद 1s और 3s और 4s और 8 होगा, right? So if you want to have XOR between 1 and 3, so what I'll be doing is I'll be just getting this XOR 1 XOR 0, this one XOR, ठीक है, this value इसको हटाकर, right? So it's like कि prefix of j XOR prefix of I minus 1, because if I XOR this thing with this, then those elements will be removed, correct? So basically if you're XORing it with 1, that is I minus 1, 1 will be removed and you are got 3 4 8. That's exactly what we want. 3 4 8, 1 से 3 तक, correct? Guys, like, are you understanding how we are tackling this problem, right? So it's basically what we used to do in the range sum iteratable. Range sum iteratable, you're supposed to have the range of like 1 से 3 तक का sum चाहिए. उसके लिए क्या कर रहे थे? Prefix of 3 लिया थे हमने, minus prefix of 2 कर रहे थे, right? यहाँ पे minus की जगह you XOR it so that they will be removed, right? Because even number of times XOR हो रहा है, correct? That is the only difference. So let me quickly code it so that you guys will be like, it will be easier for you. Okay? So let me just code what is the n value. So number of queries will be the number of answer, na, length of the answer, na. So it's going to be something like answer int arr equals to new int, right? It's going to be like this, right? And then let me just have a prefix kind of XOR, right? So let me think कैसे करूँ उसको. Like I can use this, like I can do the prefix sum in a different XOR value, or else I can use the same value, है ना? इसी में मैं कुछ change कर सकता हूँ, है ना? So I can just call it as answer, right? And I can just run a loop so that I convert this particular thing, the whole particular thing, into its own prefix array. I should not be doing it. I should be ideally doing it in a different array, but I'm doing it like breaking the normal general coding ka rule. But like you can choose to do it in a different way, right? So it's like XOR equals to a XOR I minus 1. I'll be doing it from 1. That is the difference. All right. So you have 1 3 1 3 4 8, right? So you are basically saying कि इसका previous is OR कर दो इसको. That will be, so this will be overridden by 1s or 3. You are saying कि previous is OR कर दो इसको, right? You are just saying कि 1 3 XOR 4, right? Previous से कर दो 1 3 4 8, right? In that way. So this is how you do it. Guys, is this making sense? Correct. So first let me clear it again. So I've created this prefix on, now this is called as prefix, right? So I can just use the same a. So in that only array only I made the changes. Now let me just run the loop again. Now this loop is okay. There are a couple of things, guys. The first thing is key, this is different. This should be not till n. This should be a dot length, because the n we are referring to is the queries ka length, right? It is not this length, right? So it should be running from a dot length, and but this guy will be running from n because we are running in the queries, right? So let me just take the first query. Like you can just have a query like this: q equals to queries of I. So in this each element, if you do query of query of I, you're kind of getting an array, right? So this is a 2D array, right? So it's something like this: 0, 1, 1, 3, 3, 5. In that way it is, right? So first element will be an array. So I'm putting it in an array reference. Now q dot 1 will be referring to this element. Q dot 1 will be referring to this element. Do you guys agree? Right? Right, that's how I do it, right? So I figured out that, and I created, I just do it. I can do it directly also. I can do it in this way also. Queries of I of 0, I can do it in this way. Queries of I of 1, I can do it in this way as well. Right? So I can do it in the both the ways, but let me choose this. Okay. So now let me think कि क्या करना चाहिए, right? So so it will be like answer of I is equals to nothing but XOR of A, I mean XOR of Q of 0 or Q of 1, right? So Q of 1 is nothing but the other guy, correct? Guys, are you following? This is what I was saying, right? So A of Q of 0 minus 1, correct? This is the usual thing, that is you get the whatever is the j. So this is j and this is I, right? So whatever is the XOR of all the elements starting from the starting till j, get it? XOR the elements that you don't want from here, correct? Guys, this is like a j and this is I, correct? I minus 1, but I need to take care कि ये 0 नहीं है, right? That is the only case I need to take care of, correct? Correct, Neil. If at all this guy is 0, okay, in that case I need to handle it in a different way, correct? So I can just write it in this way. If q of 0 is greater than 1, then go for it. Else, okay, else answer of I will be nothing but a of 1. So this is similar to that, right? So if at all this particular thing is if this particular thing is 0, if this particular thing is 0, right? So if this whole thing is 0, right? Then मतलब यहाँ पे query 0 है, मतलब starting से ही चाहिए ना? So you just take this thing. If at all it is not 0, then you will be subtracting 1 from it, and then you will be removing the previous element. जैसे इसमें 1, 2 में you will be doing a of 2 XOR a of 0, because you're removing the elements, prefix elements of the 0th index, correct? So I think this is pretty much the code. I can use a ternary statement also, but it will be more complex, so I didn't use it, but you can use it. I hope you guys know what ternary statement is, right? So let me just see this. It is going to be, so the answer is correct. You can check how it is working, right? So if you submit it, the whole game is to how do you handle the 2D array, right? So it is new for you, so I thought let's code it. So any doubts in this, guys? I've created a prefix XOR, and based on the query, I'm doing the like XOR from in that range, correct? Guys, any doubts? Line number 11. Line number 11 mein, see, this is the prefix, right? You can call it as prefix. Do you agree? Right? So the same array, I made it as prefix array by this loop, right? Now it is nothing but prefix XOR of the second till the second element, whatever is the second element, XOR the first element minus 1, because you are removing them, right? So XORing it with the prefix XOR, you will remove them, right? Because of the even number of things, correct? Right? So that is how that is the reason why you're XORing it, right? It's like subtracting. If you consider in the range sum iteratable, immutable, right? There's a question like that. So you use prefix sum and you subtract them, right? The same thing you're doing here. Cool, guys. Everyone. Right? Pairwise OR. Okay, Neil, let's open this question. Okay, this is a very cool question. Yeah, so this question says ki we define. So you're basically, where is this, man? Why is this question like this? So can you open a lead code question of the corresponding? Can you send me? So this is also another beautiful question. Java पे click करूँगा तो I'll be getting the code, but I'm not getting here ना. So it's kind of glitchy in this question, but it's cool. What's the name of the question? I'll Google it. नहीं है, होगा यार. This is a famous question, to be honest. Pairwise OR. Pairwise OR, GFG practice or lead code. Let me just see. Okay, this is a good question, right? XOR operation in array. Did we do this? Bitwise OR of all the elements, maximum OR, count, pair with OR, driver code for that question. Okay, cool. Apart from the driver code, the question says ki we have a function, okay, that is f of x, okay, defined as corresponding bits binary representation, right? Like, see, they are just talking about XOR, right? So if at all there is a value like this and there's another value like this, so you'll be getting answer as 1. You'll be getting this as the answer, right? So that is what they're saying, correct? Binary representation as number of different corresponding bits. Okay, so you'll be getting this, and this will be telling what is the number of bits that are set, correct? Guys, so this is a question. Let me just see. So the question says ki you are given a number, find the sum of different bits in the pairs. Bit difference of a pair xy is the count of different bits at the same position in the binary bit. So basically तुम्हें like overall तुम्हें ये करना होगा कि तुम्हें XOR find करना होगा, right? And XOR कितने, like how many people, like how many XORs are present, like how many bits are set in the XOR value, यही तो find करना है तुम्हें, right? But if you try to find XOR of all the values, it will take n square, correct? Because you need to generate all the pairs, correct, guys? Right? What does it say? It says that you're supposed to XOR each and every pair, 1 with 1, 1 with 3, 1 with 5, same with 3 with 3, 3 with 5, right? And 3 with 1 as well. Oh, it is even reverse as well, right? So all the pairs you will be generating, and you will be generating XOR जो भी मिलता है, XORs का value, XOR 1, XOR 2, right? So in सबका number of bits, you are supposed to tell me with the sum of all the number of bits of the XOR elements. How do you do it? Any approaches? एक बार सोचो. I should not be going for n square. I should not be going for n square. Can anyone think? Guys, come on, you can be free, right? We like not many people are there, so you can think of it. Okay, so let me just write it. Okay, it will be much clear. It will be helping you to think. Okay, so if at all you have 1, okay, 1, 3, 5, and this is array, right? So if you have 1, the bit representation is this, right? If you have 3, the bit representation is this. Sorry. right? If at all it is 5, the bit representation is this, right? So एक बार सोचो, like if at all pairs बनेंगे, कितने bits होंगे different? That is the question, right? So bit difference means that, see, like if you XOR these two items, okay? So if you XOR 1 and 3, you can see that this guy is different, right? This guy is same, right? This guy is also same. So the bit is different here. So in XOR also you'll be getting it as 1, and you'll be getting this as 1, right? So in a way they are just asking the number of bits that are set in all the pairwise XORs. That is the question, right, guys? Hello. For this question, you need to think in a different way. Okay? You should not be thinking in a linear manner. अभी तुमको ये सोचना होगा कि just look the number of pairs that are being generated. ठीक है? 1 1 के साथ, 1 3 के साथ, 1 5 के साथ. मतलब 1 सबके साथ हो रहा है, right? The same way 3 will be generating with 1, 3 will be 3, 3,5. The same way 5,1, 5,3, and then 5,5, right? So in that way, you're just having all of them, right? So socho, right? So if this guy is been counting the number of bits that are different, this guy is counting number of bits that are different with this guy has been counting the number of different bits with this. Okay, definitely he won't have any different bits here. Okay, he won't have any different bits here, he won't have any different bits here. Okay, but with the remaining two, he's just checking the number of bits that are different, right? So try to think कि ये 5 है, ये 3 है, ये 1 है. अब थोड़ा ध्यान से सोचो इसके बारे में कि at any position, ठीक है, यहाँ पे देखो 1 है. How many people are having in this particular bit 0? That many number of times होगा मेरा आंसर. क्यों? Guys, can anyone think of it in this way? कि देखो यहाँ पे for example, यहाँ पे you have 0, right? You have 1 bit here that is set, correct? So if you compare only in this case, this particular bit will be set. Do you agree? Only when you are comparing with this, only then this will be set. Do you agree? Right? Same thing goes here. यहाँ पे 1 है. Number of zeros that are present in this particular bit is 2. So 2 bits will be set because of comparing with this and this, correct? So in total, this guy will be giving 3 as the difference. One is this difference, other one is this difference. The number of bits with the opposite sign, opposite, मतलब set हो तो unset, unset हो तो set. The number of opposite bits in the remaining opponents will be the count for each bit. So in that we will just traverse and just check. इस केस में देखो, 3 के केस में देखो एक बार. 3 के केस में एक बार देखना. Like 3 के केस में you are at this position. Obviously, there are no zeros, so it will be 0, right? इस केस में, right? You can see that this is 0 and this 0. So 0 का count is 2, right? So this bit will contribute to the answer, right? So it will be 2. And यहाँ पे देखो 0 है. The number of bits at this position that are set is 1. So when you're comparing this with this, only this bit will contribute, right? So it is 3. Are you guys able to connect the dots? Every bit just compare कि उसका opposite bits उस position पे कितने हैं? That will be your answer, right? You don't have to XOR and you don't have to find it. So इसमें देखो, like at this position, you can see that this won't contribute to anything because there are no zeros. But this guy, when 1s or 3 होगा, उस time पे this guy will be giving 1 as the answer, right? So you'll be writing 1. Right? Same thing goes with here. This will be having the difference with this, so there's 1. So it will be 2, right? 2 plus 3 plus 3, that is 8. Don't you think 8 is the answer? It's all about at each position. Just check ki the opposite bits are there. How many bits are there for all the values? So you can create an array which will be counting the number of ones and number of zeros. यहाँ पे number of ones 3 है, यहाँ पे 0 है, right? यहाँ पे you can see that number of zeros is 2, number of ones is 1, number of zeros is 2, number of ones is 1. So you can create 2 arrays of 32 size each. Each one will be telling the number of bits that are set at that particular position. उसके हिसाब से उसको opposite वाले को आंसर में ऐड करना होगा, बस यही आंसर. Try to think, guys. Try this question. It's a good question. ठीक है, कल हम कोड करेंगे because it's already too late. Right. So we can just wrap up for today. I think the strength is also too less. Okay. So try this. Okay, using this logic of the opposite number of bits, just using this frequency of the bits at that particular position. Try to think of some logic. Okay, and you will be getting the answer at the end. Okay, जैसे मैंने अभी किया था. Right. तो अगर 0 है तो number of ones देखो इस particular position पे. That is 1. Right. In that way, try to think and just sum them up. You'll be getting it in a less time complexity. And log n में मिल रहा है तुम्हें. Right. Try to think. कैसे करोगे? Correct, guys? Shall we stop for today? Okay. Okay, man. Good night. Good night, everyone. Okay. So I'll see. So I don't think कि module 3 बहुत ही मुश्किल होने वाला टेस्ट. ठीक है. ना like we are not expecting you to be very pros. ठीक है. But again, जितना पढ़ाया गया था उतना तो expect कर ही रहे. At least 60% of it, right? So try your level best. जितना हो पाएगा उतना करो. ठीक है. That is like just make sure your fundamentals are good. Just make sure you're confident enough. क्योंकि confidence के बिना you like the questions that you might know, there is a strong possibility that you might not be able to do that as well, right? Just because you're not confident, correct? So don't let that happen, guys. Okay? And I wish you okay, do well. Tomorrow will be the last class. Okay, so we'll yeah, we'll meet, sure. Okay. No, I don't think there will be any lectures after that. From the module 3, you'll be having you'll be probably seeing in module D. Okay. So sure, we'll see that. Okay. Okay, man. Good night. I'm just closing it. Okay. So we'll meet. Bye. I'll be taking module D. I think it's from November 3rd. I think lectures will be starting. Let's see. Okay, I'll let you know. The 7th से start हो रहा है. Okay. I was told it's for module November 3rd, man. Okay, man. फिर तो 7 ही होगा. Okay. Okay, cool. We'll be just solving the questions. ठीक है, सब questions करेंगे. It's going to be nice. ठीक है. Okay, man. Good night. Good night and have a good life. ठीक है. Practice well. Do well. ठीक है. Study. ठीक है. Work. Bye bye.